Hello. I am here. How we doing, chat? Oh shoot. Are we excited to rank some other trucking challenges? Alright. So let me know if I sound good. Let me know if the music sounds good. We're gonna be ranking some challenges here. Based on design. So I was looking on YouTube. I noticed that most people just rank these challenges based on their items, which is completely valid, right? I actually want to do that list eventually, likely with Turt, because I think that usually would take a more analytical approach anyway. But it makes me realize, like, honestly, a lot of these challenges kind of suck. But there's some golden gems in here though, so I kind of wanted to talk about the challenges themselves and how the actual playthrough of these challenges and when they're done in a save file, right? How much fun are they? How replayable are they? How interesting are they when you actually do play them? That's the kind of stuff we're going to be looking at. Also, yes, my thumbnails are goated. Let's see. Let's go over here. Design like the gimmick of the challenge? I mean, basically. Yeah. That's basically what a challenge is, right? All the challenges have some sort of gimmick. Ahoy! Welcome to the stream, everybody. Let me make sure that I can actually see things correctly. But yeah, nobody really talks about the challenges at all, like by themselves. I will mention the unlocks, at least for this list, I will mention the unlocks if it relates to the challenge. So like some challenges will give you an unlock based on the challenge, and I think that's good. That's good design. But if it's just like some random ass item that has nothing to do with the item you're actually using, then I think that's kind of a throw, personally. Oh, shoot. Sorry about the wait, chat. I'm just setting up stream and everything. But yeah, and I saw somebody in chat asking where the next Smash video was. I'm actually glad to hear that, because obviously that's not an Isaac-related list, so I'm glad to see that. My other debate list series that I've been doing is, it at least has some intrigue, and I like that. Alright. I like that. Docs, let me see chat. Red Redemption Best Challenge. I think I actually like that one. But yeah, we're gonna have the wiki up here so that way we can be reminded. Because a lot of these challenges we haven't done in ages, so we kind of have to be reminded exactly what each one is, you know? So we'll be here. So goddamn cool. I kind of look like that. Better than greed mode. Hope not too late. No, I haven't even started yet, Mr. At. You're all good. That actually reminds me, I'm glad you said that. So, I'm gonna, I guess, attempt to do like a sort of YouTube intro here. This one I do kind of want to make a YouTube video out of, as opposed to the, because the last solo stream we did character fun list. Great stream. I loved that stream. We had a lot of fun discussions in that stream. But you know, obviously that one is best as a stream, so I don't think it really needs its own separate video. This one I think is interesting. So this one, I'll probably still do polls. I'll probably still do polls, but well, I don't want the music to be too loud. I'll probably still do polls, but it won't be as like often. It's not gonna be for every placement. This will definitely be more so how I feel about it. But I'll probably still do polls based on, like, you know, if I'm struggling to figure out a placement, you know. Ultra hard, have Edmund tier at the bottom. That actually reminds me, I have to name the tiers. I haven't even done that yet. What's S tier? Let's see. Insanely cool. There you go. Insanely cool. And we'll do a little bit of a hella fun. You know what I'm saying? Hella fun. And then this will just be, it's mid. You know, it's mid. This one will be, And it said, trash. There you go. Just do insane. Should it just be insane? Fine. It is kind of our thing. Insane. That's fine. Alright. Alright, so, since we have a few more people in here, I'm gonna re-mention exactly what we're gonna do before we start. Actually, I could just do it in the YouTube intro sort of type beat. All mid, TBH. I would bet that this, I actually think this list is going to be more trash and more than anything. There's going to be a lot of not good ones. I am going to be taking into context when you actually do the challenge in a save file. Because a lot of these challenges, they're meant to, like, teach the player to a certain degree. Most of these challenges are meant to be played, like all the Rebirth challenges, for example, are meant to be played, like, really early on. Like, most of the challenges are meant to be done before 100 hours in the game, you know? So, at least for the Rebirth ones. Obviously, it's different for Afterbirth, Afterbirth Plus, and Repentance. But I will be taking that into account. It just depends on when it came out, which update, you know, yada yada. Need more tiers? You think so? I feel like this feels right. Maybe I'll make a new tier at the very top if I feel like there's like a... If I feel like there's a good gap. Testing synergy as well. Yeah, Mr. Hat, that's a good point. Like, the game might be teaching you the importance of synergies in the game, right? In which case, I think that's fine, you know? For us players who, you know, some of these challenges, they're way too easy. What's a good example? I think Tech Savvy, right? I was thinking about that because somebody in chat said that some challenges are just bad challenges because they're too easy. I instantly thought of Tech Savvy. Computer Savvy, this one. Yeah, you start with Spoon-Better Tech and Tech 2. Most boring challenge of all time. You will destroy this challenge if you play it right now. But at the same time, it's like, this is unlocked right off rip. Like, it teaches you one of the most OP synergies you can get, you know? So I can't just instantly rate it in trash just because it's that easy. Because it's meant to just teach you the importance of synergies in Isaac, right? That was so easy, yeah. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I'm going to put it high tier. It's probably just going to be mid. But it does teach you something, right? So I don't think that's necessarily bad design. It teaches you a synergy. So then you could look for that synergy, right, in a run. Okay. Take into account rewards. I will only take into account rewards if the reward is related to the challenge. Where's a good example of that? Dude, they should have done Card Against Humanity for, like, a poop-related challenge. Yeah, there really aren't that many. Like, why is Tech Point 5 not in the Computer Savvy challenge? Like, some of these are just so odd. Like, why is Epic Fetus the Family Man? Maybe... No, I don't get it. It's so odd. Don't you unlock Spirit Sword from doing the challenge at least? See, this one's good. Scatman is Dirty Mind. See, that one I would count. But it took all the way till frickin' Repentance for that? Like, what? Why? See, Spirit Sword makes sense. Right? You unlock Spirit Sword in the challenge where you use Spirit Sword, right? That's the kind of thing that I would consider the reward for. Like, hey, this is basically... Because, to me, in a save file, if... I mean, Spirit Sword's a great example, right? Completely changes your run. This challenge is technically the first time in a file that you can play with Spirit Sword. So I think that's good design. Because they get you to use the item in the challenge first, and then that unlocks it for future runs. I think that's good. I think more of these challenges should have done that, honestly. I think it's weird that barely any have done that. But yeah. Let's get it. I do think some of the challenges really should be updated retroactively. A few are just bad, and some needed a bit more special sauce. Later ones got... Yeah, I agree. Hopefully if we ever get an Binding of Isaac sequel, then a lot of these will be redone. But hey, let's see. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe more of these challenges are more interesting than we really give them credit for. Okay. Challenges were meant to unlock the cards originally. Kind of as a way to create some incentive to do them. It's still kind of weird as hell, yeah. Okay. So, let me see if I can do a YouTube intro here. 3, 2, 1. What are the best challenges in the Binding of Isaac Repentance? Welcome to the video. We are going to be here ranking all the challenges in Binding of Isaac. And this will be based on design. This is just me here. We also are on stream, so chat will be here as well. So I see a lot of people on YouTube are ranking challenges based on the unlocks, which is completely valid. I actually want to do a list like that eventually, probably with Turt. Basically saying, hey, these are the challenges you should do first in a save file because you want these unlocks, right? We are not really going to be considering the unlocks for this specific list. This is based on the design of the challenge itself. You know, make sure to subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff, leave a like, yada yada, and we're gonna get right into it. So, Pitch Black. So what we're instantly gonna notice here is a lot of these rebirth challenges are like really basic and boring, especially to, you know, us who've been playing Repentance. Repentance, it's pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. Pitch Black. You start with Curse of Darkness, Curse of the Unknown. That's every floor, I believe, but that's it. You have item rooms. This is just a regular run. There's no shops, but there are item rooms. Why? 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 Only Curse of the Unknown, Curse of Darkness. I mean, I guess it gets you to learn the challenge. I mean, the curses. But it's not fun at all. And it's not actually, like, that much harder. This is definitely air trash. I don't remember. Pitch Black, Lamau. Pitch Black is such a nothing burger, I agree. I definitely want to say either trash or but I also feel like there's worse trash than this. I guess at the very least it teaches you what curses are. It feels very boring, though. We'll stick with for now. Maybe I'll lower it down to trash. You know, shops with treasure rooms, it's odd. Yeah, it is very odd. I don't know why. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's shops and no treasure room. But yeah, you don't really start with anything. It's just annoying, right? I don't really necessarily feel like that's a challenge. It's more so just annoying, you know? So I feel like is fair. There isn't really much to discuss about that challenge. That challenge is very, very basic. Let's move on to Highbrow. I mean, instantly Highbrow, this is at least something. This is some sort of challenge, right? So, something else I'd like to mention. Some of these challenges, these are rebirth challenges, right? So, at the time you play them, at the beginning of a save file, it teaches you different things about items and about item synergies. And I kind of like that, right? So here, we have a bunch of items. Like, a bunch of, like, kind of items. Number one's definitely the best item here. We got number one, E. coli, butt bombs, flush, and petrified poop. We have a freaking poop synergy run here. No item rooms, and yes, there's shops. This one unlocked Yara, insane. Yeah, I actually think this one's pretty solid. High tier rate, obviously. I think... I mean, E. coli doesn't actually do anything in combo with any of this, does it? No, but I mean, obviously petrified poop combined with flush and E. coli. Basically, like, this works, right? It gives you a bunch of poop items. It makes you realize how goated petrified poop is. I feel like this one's fine. I feel like this is definitely at least mid. It's fine. There's definitely vastly better. Would I consider it hella fun? Not really. It's definitely still kind of mid. But at the very least, it does teach you about poop synergy stuff. Eyebrow kind of mid, yeah. I feel like mid is fair for this one. The thing I can think of that exists is, since it's the first challenge you're likely to do, is used to not having shops to rely on. Yeah, pitch black sucks for sure. Corrupt transformation didn't exist back then. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so remember at the time these came out, it's kind of interesting, right? What we have here. This is fine. Again, there isn't much to talk about highbrow here. A lot of these rebirth challenges I think are going to be like that. But at least this one gives you a synergy to work with of some sort. It's just kind of a mid synergy of themed item set runs. It's alright, but yeah, we're all mid for sure, for sure. I agree, tank. Alright, head trauma. Yeah, a lot of these rebirth ones are probably just going to move past. Oh, here we go. Alright. Hey, here's another interesting one. So, head trauma, tiny planet, soy milk, the small rock, and iron bar. Where to even begin? So it gives you no item rooms. So here's the thing, right? For anybody who's watching the all items list, am I the only one that definitely considers tiny planet to just be a detrimental item? Like, tiny planet is just detrimental, am I wrong? Am I underrating that item? That item just sucks ass. That item just sucks ass. You have small rock, iron bar, soy milk, which on its own would not be that bad, right? But then they give you tiny planet, and all of a sudden this challenge sucks ass. Okay, but as a challenge, you know what? It makes you use an item that you might not want to use. It makes you play the game differently. Basically, I actually respect the challenges that force you to use a synergy that you might not want. I had to say, head trauma used to suck because soy milk sucked. Now this is okay. You're probably right, actually, Fuzzy Nuts. Tiny Planet sucks. I don't know why people like it. Yeah, I have no idea. Tiny Planet has some cool synergies, like with Brimstone, but that's like kind of all I can think of. That's a good synergy. Most time, Tiny Planet sucks. Yeah, I might actually try to fight for Tiny Planet and Detrimentals here on all items. But anyway, that's unrelated here. Head trauma. I feel like, again, this is kind of a highbrow situation where I think it forces you to use an item you might not want to use. And it gives you an interesting-ish kind of synergy. I still don't know if it breaks hella fun, though. Because it is not hella fun. I feel like it at least has to have some level of fun to it. And there's always massive hit to this one. Nah, Tiny Planet is decent if you got status effects. Why? I don't think so. Tiny Planet is a challenge item. I like it for that. But also Tiny Planet has a benefit, which is that it lasts ages in the air and you can move them around. True. True. Love Planet, one of my personal guilty pleasure items. It's either super good or throws. No, I think it's always super throws. Either way. For the challenge, that doesn't matter. I'm actually okay with bad items in challenges. I think this is fine. I think this is another mid. I actually think it's above highbrow because highbrow is just like a run. I'll be honest. Highbrow is just a run. This one, what I'll say about head trauma, this is the first challenge we have that actually feels like it's a challenge, right? Like, I could actually kind of see myself losing this challenge, even nowadays. Because, you know, you have no item rooms to work with, and this is like a bad setup. At least to me, this feels like a bad setup. I would not want this. I think this, like, you have a bad setup going into a run with no items. Yeah. You know? That being said, you only have to defeat Mom, so it's not that hard, but either way. For a Rebirth challenge, I think it's fine. Still mid, though. Darkness Falls. Yeah, this one... Okay, I think this is one where it struggles from being a little too easy. You start with Eve, with Pentagram, Deadbird, Horror Babylon, Razor Blade, Sacrificial Dagger, and Dark Matter. Like, why? My question with this is why? Okay, so at the time that this came out in Rebirth, this was before Eve got the Razor Blade on her kit. This is before Greed Mode Razor Blade buff. So I guess there's that. You could see the synergy behind Razor Blade with Eve. But, like, it really is just an OP Eve run. Like, this kind of sucks, no? I mean, yeah. I mean, even if I take the context into it, I think, if anything, it should have just started with Razor Blade, maybe, and, like, I don't even know. It's very odd. I mean, I guess you have no item rooms, but, like, you already have all the items in the run you really need. You have 2 damage ups right off rip, along with Horror Babylon. Honestly, this kind of sucks. This feels like it's trash. It's the most irrelevant challenge of all time. Like, at least with Pitch Black, like, you could give the argument that it could teach the player about the curses. But what the heck are you teaching the player with Darkness Falls? What are you actually teaching? How to... here's some double deal items, I guess? I don't freaking know. That's odd. It's Eve Boot Camp, the challenge. But it's easy Eve. What? It's not even a challenge at that point. Like, why call it a challenge if it's just an easy run? I guess you have to beat Satan? Something? I guess? Does just teach you Eve, but, like, you could just play Eve. I was just run forced to use Deadbird or Razor Blade. That would be hype. Well... Okay, you know what would be hype? Okay, this would be a little weird. So, maybe a lot of these challenges I'll give ideas for, like, a Binding of Isaac sequel. If they're going to do an Eve teaching challenge, what they should have done is they should have made it so you cannot shoot unless you're in Horror Babylon state. So, that would kind of, like, give it this, like, way of, oh, hey, you need to put yourself into Horror Babylon state. Because that's usually the most optimal way to play Eve, right? So make it so you can't shoot when you're in normal form, but you can shoot after you turn to Horror Babylon, right? So that way, like, hey, like, you gotta use, like, Deadbird or something at the very early game to get to that Horror Babylon state while you're killing enemies, and then you can start shooting after, so then it's like a low health run until you get soul hearts. I think that would be cool. That'd be one way to teach you how to play Eve, right? Because it would teach you, hey, you gotta get to this low amount of HP, so that way you get the damage up, you get going, right? But this is just freaking an easy Eve run. I don't think this teaches the player anything. That would be awesome, that'd be hype. You need to beat Satan as Eve beforehand. Wait, really? Hold on. Unreal made a huge point. Also for Unlock the challenge, you need to beat Satan as Eve beforehand. Defeat Mom's Heart 11 times and unlock Eve. Defeat Mom's Heart 11 times and defeat Blue Baby as Eve. What the fudge? So you already know how to play as Eve. What the frick is the point of this challenge? Wait, that's actually such a good point. That is such a good point. In order to even unlock this challenge, you need to beat Mom's Heart 11 times and defeat Blue Baby as Eve. What the fudge? This freaking challenge sucks ass. This challenge sucks ass. Alright, moving on. We're moving on. This challenge sucks ass. We got the tank. I'm okay with the tank. Wait, am I okay with the tank? You start with Infamy, Bucket of Lard, Thunder Thighs, and Yum Heart. I mean, you just start with a lot of health. But again, like, how is this a challenge? No, I get it. You're slow. No, I get it. Yeah. You have 2 items that lower your speed. You're also already playing as Maggie, who's very slow. You know what? No, I get it. This challenge is okay. You have a lot of health, but you're really slow, right? It kind of teaches you that some items are not necessarily only beneficial, right? This is the kind of challenge that will be like, hey, if you ever see Bucket of Lard or Thunder Thighs, try to take into account what speed stat you have, right? Yeah, these items are okay, but they have a downside to them, and that's the negative speed. I actually think this challenge is okay. You know what? The more I think about it, I feel like it teaches you the negatives of some items. I think it's the best one we've seen so far. Maybe it's not as good as Head Trauma. That one's a little tougher. I do think it just directly teaches you, like, hey, speed is an important stat. Because when you're playing this challenge, let's be real here, you're gonna get hit. You just will. You have a ton of health, and you have Yum Heart to make up for it. And also Infamy. I think Infamy is a little bit overkill. Like, I don't think you need that. I think just Bucket of Lard, Thunder Thighs, Yum Heart would have been better, personally. But, whatever. I think this is fine. For a Rebirth challenge, it's not that bad. So goddamn boring, though. Pretty true. I do think it teaches the player a lot. Definitely not hella fun. A challenge actually has to be fun to be hella fun. This is not fun. But it does teach the player something, you know? Head Trauma is better to me. It might be. I'm not against that. This teaches you how to tank damage if you're a slow speed situation. All ways surviving the game in a bad run. Go to how speed is. Yeah, it definitely teaches you how good speed is. 0.25 speed. Is that true, Mr. Hat? That's crazy. Edmund did not cook. Literally just don't remember this challenge at all. It was really easy. Yeah. You know what? At least Head Trauma is recognizable. I'll give y'all that. Head Trauma, like, I think about. Like, the tank I forgot about until just now. But I do still think it teaches a player something. So I'm going to keep it like that. I think that's valid. No item rooms either. Solar System. Here is an interesting one. So this is the first blindfolded challenge. Hot take, I think the blindfolded challenges are some of the most interesting ones. You know what? I gotta give a lot of credit to this challenge. This is a Rebirth challenge. If y'all saw me and Turt's run tier list, which I actually think is our worst video. I definitely got way too butthurt about Turt not agreeing with my boss rush take. Whatever. That video is not great. That's definitely our worst one. Anyway, you'll know from that video that I appreciate when a game forces you to play a way that you're not used to, right? I think it makes you learn stuff about the game. And here, this is exactly what this challenge is doing. I'll say right now, I think this is hella fun. I don't think it's insane, but I do think it's hella fun. At least to me, it's hella fun. So, this challenge, I think about this challenge, and I'm like, yeah, it forces you to not rely on your shooting. I mean, you can't shoot. You're blindfolded. You need to get used to using your familiars. And in a way, again, it teaches the player to use familiars to do damage. So I honestly think without this challenge, I would not respect Distant Admiration and Forever Alone. Because this is the one, yeah. You have the red and the blue flies, right? I actually use those flies in regular runs alongside my shooting. But if it wasn't for this challenge teaching me how strong these flies actually are, I probably would never use them, you know? So yeah, it teaches you a lot about orbital familiars. I think that's really cool. Also, Halo Flies is nice, gives you a little bit of extra protection against tears. Transcendence, insane. Just do sacrifices and cheese this challenge. Oh yeah, that's for tank. Better version of tank later with Spike Door challenge, yeah. Sources is good at teaching you about orbital familiars as alt ways of damage. Side doesn't have Gray Fly Friend Zone, which makes it feel a little outdated. Yeah, a lot of these are outdated. Some of the blindfold challenges are great, and some are very finicky. This one is nice, but I do think it's easy to bypass this challenge with Shop. Oh yeah. Sources been frustrating, but it did teach me to use attack flies when I otherwise would have just refused to do so. So help me be a better player. Exactly. See, good job, chat. Good job, chat. Y'all are understanding how we're trying to rank these challenges here. You see? It teaches you how to play the game a little bit better. That's a good challenge, right? I definitely died a few times when I played this the first few times. So, hey, that's telling. It's definitely hard enough. You have to be Mom's Heart, too. Like, Mom's Heart with only these items. You have no item rooms, by the way. That's tough. You can't shoot. You're only using attack flies. There's no item rooms. You have to be Mom's Heart. That's a pretty solid challenge, I would say. That is a solid challenge. I'll give Solar System benefit of the doubt because it's way better than the Guppy's Hairball one. We'll get to that one. Ooh, okay. Let's move on. So here's... Okay, this is actually one of the challenges I actually think about. Suicide King. You start as Lazarus for some reason. I think it's because he has less range. You start with Ipecac, Mr. Mega, My Reflection, and one random pill. And no item room. So... If y'all have been paying attention to how I'm ranking these challenges, right? We said head trauma was interesting because it forces you to use a kind of bad synergy, and yet just have to get through the run with it. Solar System challenges you in a way that it makes you become a better player. So if we combine those two aspects, right, give you a bad synergy, force you to beat the run with it, and also make a challenging scenario, I think this is our first insane. I actually love Suicide King. I love Suicide King. Alright, sue me. A lot of people don't like Suicide King. You're just bad, alright? You're just bad. There's a level of strategy behind Suicide King. There's a way you play the game with Suicide King. It's actually fun. Like, it is an actual fun challenge. If I went and played Suicide King right now, I think I'd have fun. I think I would. I've played this a few times, actually. You are dealing with it is literally an anti-synergy. But I like the idea that a challenge forces you to use an anti-synergy. Because, first of all, it teaches you the anti-synergy. Tell me right now this is not the first run you think of when you think of anti-synergies with Ipecac. It just is, right? You instantly think of, oh, hey, My Reflection Ipecac is a bad synergy. And that's because of this challenge, right? But even then, like, in the challenge, like, you still have Ipecac. You don't need the item rooms. Like, there are no item rooms. You are always strong enough to beat this challenge. It's only a skill diff challenge. You literally just need to be good. That's the only difference with this challenge. Which, honestly, that's kind of sick, right? There aren't that many challenges like that in this game. There's very little RNG to worry about here. It's just, can you aim the shots correctly? Because the Ipecac shots still have a hitbox. So if you kind of use momentum to your advantage, you could like run at an enemy and then shoot it and then, you know, back up before it explodes on your freaking face. I think this challenge is great. I think it's very well designed. I don't know why. I assume Mr. Mega synergizes with Ipecac. That's why they give it to you. I assume. I don't know. Either way, you definitely have the damage. You have all the items that you need to win the run. All that's missing is your skill. And that's cool. I've definitely died a few times when I did this challenge the first time. But it was rewarding to get good at it. And again, there's like this level of strategy and a certain level of play with it. The OG anti-synergy, exactly. I like the thrill of constantly avoiding self-damage and having to be careful with aiming. Yeah, I think, honestly, this is a gem for a Rebirth challenge. Like, good on frickin' Edmund, bruh. There are very few of these Rebirth challenges that are this good. This is a good one. Like, I think this one's comparable to even some of the later challenges. Top most annoying challenges, but it's good, though. Same is a bit too high for me, but definitely fun. Oh, absolutely. And same seems fair. Suicide King is great Ipecac practice. It is. It actually is. One of my few anti-synergies in Flash Isaac, yeah. Revise is last. You'd liquefy rooms too, running around and tearing through. The reason I don't do this one until last is because the reward is detrimental. The challenge itself is super fun. You're actually right. But I'll give it credit. Suicide King is a very fitting reward for once, right? I'm not going to account the rewards too much in terms of ranking, but if the reward is at least fitting for the challenge, I like that. You play Suicide King, and guess what? You unlock the Suicide King card. It's fitting, right? You also have to beat Isaac. Hello? I didn't even notice that. You have to beat Isaac in this challenge? This is kind of a hard one, too. God darn. So yeah, I respect Suicide King a lot. Oh, and Suicide King card, it's only good with Lazarus as well. And guess who you're playing as in the challenge? That's Lazarus. That's pretty good. I don't know. It is surprisingly a really well-designed challenge in Rebirth here. Cat Out Your Tongue. Somebody was saying how much they hate this challenge earlier. I don't have much hard feelings about it. Basically, you start with Guppy, but you're blindfolded, right? Yeah, you're blindfolded. You have 3 red hearts, 3 dark hearts, 3 soul hearts. That's a lot of health. You start as Guppy, with Guppy's hairball, Guppy's head, Guppy's tail. You can only attack with Guppy's hairball. I'll be honest, I feel like this is comparable to Solar System. I don't think it's worse. Somebody was saying it's definitely worse. I think it's comparable. I remember doing this challenge. This is, again, this is the only time, tell me I'm wrong, this is the only time you have actually used Guppy's hairball. Tell me I'm wrong. The only time we buy Guppy's hairball from Devil Deal is for the Guppy transformation. We never actually use Guppy's hairball. And if you do, you're lying to yourself. If you do, then you're lying to yourself. I think, like, there's something interesting about it, right? That being said, there is definitely a difference there, right? Because Solar System made me realize the power of the flies, like Distant Admiration. Whereas Guppy's hairball made me realize why I never want to use Guppy's hairball. There's definitely a difference there. But I do think that the actual play of the challenge is comparable to Solar System. It's giving you an well, it's not really an anti-synergy, you're just blindfolded. But it does give you Guppy, and it teaches you a little bit about Guppy form. I think it's harder than Solar System. Oh, it's definitely harder than Solar System, there's no doubt there. This one's weird, actually. Worst Solar System, honestly. Teaches you about hairball and how much it actually is doo-doo, yeah. Never used it in regular runs. Yeah, I do too. That's the issue. Guppy's hairball just sucks. Yeah, Distant Admiration is actually kind of solid, and Solar System teaches you that. But Cat Got Your Tongue just teaches you how bad Guppy's hairball is. That item needs a buff, honestly. That item is so trash. Maybe y'all are actually kind of right. Not Guppy's hairball is really jank to use, yeah. So it's just because the orbitals are more common and should teach newer players about orbitals, however you should never use hairball. You're kind of right, chat. I was going to put it in the same tier as Solar System, but I kind of agree. It doesn't teach the player that much. It just teaches you how bad the item is. That being said, I do still give a little bit of respect to it for actually being hard. Like, again, this is a hard challenge, for sure. I have to beat Mom with it. Honestly, the Mom fight with just Guppy's hairball sounds hard. It actually does sound hard. Obviously, I've done it, but it's been a long time. Again, I think the play of it is interesting at least, so I kind of do still want it at the top of mid. Because I remember playing it, you know? It's memorable to me at least. I'm okay with it, right? And at the very least, you do still spawn attack flies every time you use Guppy's hairball, so it's something. I don't know. I still think it's at least interesting to play, at the very least. I will leave it right here. I think that's fine. Demo Man. Okay, so this is the first challenge that I think is ridiculously easy, like absolutely ridiculously easy, but it teaches the player about not an anti-synergy, but an OP synergy. This is another one of those cases where it's like, this challenge is likely one of the only times we have ever gotten this amazing synergy. Dr. Fetus plus Remote Detonator. It's that simple. I don't know why you have Matchstick. I think this is definitely hella fun. It doesn't have, so this is the kind of challenge, so somebody in my chat was saying, if it's too easy, it should not be considered a challenge. And I kind of get their logic there. Like, yeah, it's not challenging, but at the very least, it does something. It serves a purpose, right? It teaches us the benefit of a synergy. And this is a synergy. Dr. Fetus and Remote Detonator. Remote Detonator, we only really pick it up for the bombs, let's be honest. But when you get that Remote Detonator with Dr. Fetus, that crap hype. That crap hype, alright? I don't give a damn. That crap hype. It is extremely easy. It is one of the easiest challenges out there. That's why I am not going to put it higher than Solar System, I don't think. But, again, like, this is one of those things where it's like, if I get Dr. Fetus and I see Remote Detonator, I'm popping off. I'm popping off. Because without this challenge, let's be honest here. Let's all be honest with ourselves. Would we have actually thought about Remote Detonator, Dr. Fetus, without this challenge? Would we have actually ever considered that? I think this challenge teaches a lot more of us than we realize. I actually think, like, again, I think this and a few of the other challenges, it teaches us a synergy we never would have considered before, and that's what this is. Every time I get Dr. Fetus, I'm thinking, that remote detonator, though. I don't know, it's unique. It's interesting. It's easy. It's definitely easy. You just have to beat Mom's Heart, and you have a really OP synergy. No item rooms, but obviously, it's an easy synergy. There's no doubt. This is an easy challenge, but... So that's why I think it's lower than the Solar System, but I mean, I think by definition it's hella fun. It's fun to work with. Demo Man's cool, yeah. If I had two the same run, I would try it, yeah, but it teaches you about bombs and how powerful they are for sure. Maybe I should put a Mega Satan? Yeah, I think a lot of these Rebirth challenges would be a lot more interesting if they just went to a further boss, honestly. It's kind of true. Pushing around bombs and piling them up on the moon is... Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, we got Cursed here. Got a friggin' all types of crap on this one. Play as Maggie, Blue Map, Compass, Raw Liver, Treasure Map, Yum Heart, Child's Heart, Curse of the Cursed? What does that mean? What is Curse of the Cursed? Is that all the curses? Chat, what does that mean? Just to be Mom, you have item rooms and shops. Oh, this is the challenge that does all the cursed doors, isn't it? This doesn't really explain the challenge, does it? Oh, Curse of the Cursed, that's a unique challenge. That's a unique, I see. Spike door every door. Yeah. This is a unique curse, I see. Every room is a curse room. Honestly, this one's kind of hype. You have a lot of health, but like you have to plan ahead, right? You have Treasure Map, you have Compass, you have Blue Map. You have everything you need to see the floor. You just have to plan accordingly, and obviously, like make sure not to get hit, obviously. But you get enough healing because of Child's Heart and Yum Heart combo. You just have to plan out your route. I feel like this is pretty damn good. I don't necessarily think it's like insane in terms of creativity, but I don't know. It's interesting. I think it might even go above Demo Man. Yeah, maybe. It's interesting. It really is interesting. All Cursor is actually hype. Like the strategizing around it. Yeah, I agree actually. Because like it's the only challenge where you have to look at your map and be like, all right, which is the most optimal path to take, right? I think this one's solid. I really do. Teaches you how to min-max your health and be as fast as possible. I wouldn't necessarily say fast as possible, but optimal as possible, yeah. Once you get Curse of the Lost, no floor. This is what tanks should have been. I could kind of agree with that to a degree. But I think they teach different things, to be fair. I think tank teaches you the negatives of speed lowering items, whereas this teaches you the strategy behind, you know, choosing the correct path, right? Because I think in any run, especially late game, it's always beneficial to take pathing, right? Do you want to spend the enemy rooms to find your item room or any other room, right? Or do you want to just go straight to the boss? Because in this challenge, item rooms and shops are still a thing. Do you want to waste the health getting to that item room or shop or anything? Or do you want to just go straight to the boss and save your health? You never know. There's a little strategy there. I think that's pretty cool. It's a mental challenge and a skill challenge. Yeah, I think this is cool. I like this one. Next up, we got Glass Cannon. Start with Epic Fetus and Loki's Horns. You have to defeat the Family Man challenge. So this is post Family Man challenge, which is weird because Family Man is a challenge. It's challenge 19. This is 11. What? The order of these challenges makes no sense. But yeah, Glass Cannon. I mean, it gave you an anti-synergy in Loki's Horns. I don't know. This one's just kind of... I mean, it gets you to use Epic Fetus, and I love Epic Fetus. Y'all know that. But I just don't even... Like, Loki's Horns is an anti-synergy. But is it that bad? I don't know. I'm conflicted. I mean, it does teach you how to use Epic Fetus, which is another item you just unlocked from a previous challenge. This one's fine. Scrape fundamentals, challenge curses. It kind of teaches you how to optimize your charges. Oh, this one. I like this one because 4 shots kind of makes rooms agony. Yeah. Kind of fun, I guess. Reward is rules card. Insane. Another anti-synergy challenge. I feel it's not as bad as though as Suicide King. This one, I don't know. I don't actually think I like this one that much. I guess you start as Judas, so you start with low health. But like, who cares if you die super early, right? I feel like this one's just kind of eh. Should I put it in eh? That feels wrong. I mean, I love Epic Fetus. At the very least, it'll teach the player how to use Epic Fetus. Maybe right here. Right below head trauma. Because it doesn't give you that much of an interesting synergy, or even an interesting anti-synergy. Like, it is an anti-synergy, but it's not that bad of one, you know? I mean, it's fun because it's Epic Fetus, right? Decently challenged early on. It's a good point. Yeah, I think mid is fair for it. I think this is fun. Top of eh or bottom of mid for me. I can see that. It does teach you how to use Epic Fetus, though. I think there's a lot of people that will unlock Epic Fetus and they won't even know what it does until they play this challenge. I think that's kind of why I'm putting it a little bit higher. I think in all, I'd put it in eh. But just the fact that it unlocks from the challenge of unlocking Epic Fetus, and then you play with Epic Fetus. I don't know. It teaches you how to use the item at least. I think this is fine. It's just a little basic. When life gives you lemons, you start with 9 Vault Habit, Lemon Mishap, and 1 Lemon Party Pill. That Lemon Party Pill carries, bro. You unlock Card Against Humanity. That is not relevant. Well, it's an amazing card, but it doesn't have to do with this challenge. I mean, I think this one would be interesting if you couldn't shoot. I don't know. I mean, what is there to say about this challenge? I feel like this is very... I actually think this is an eh. We haven't had an eh in a while, but this feels very boring. Like, when you do this challenge, does anybody really abuse the Lemon Mishap? Trash? Maybe? Pitch Black teaches you about curses. What does this actually teach you? It's not a good synergy by any means. 9 Vault and Habit. It's Creep the challenge, and the worst is. Is it actually trash? Teaches you how bad Lemon is, and how you have to rely on a bad item for most of your damage. Trash challenge. It might actually be trash. Like, I feel like eventually you just don't even use Lemon anymore. I mean, you probably still use it because you have the battery items, but like, it doesn't do much. No one abused the Lemon Mishap, yeah. Yeah, maybe this is trash. I will say, I actually still think it's better than Darkness Falls, though. Why did Oh my god, there's so much that makes Darkness Falls bad. Darkness Falls only unlocks after you beat Blue Baby as Eve, so you already know how to play as Eve at that point. So there's no point with the Razor Blade teaching the player or anything. Yeah, Darkness Falls makes no sense. It actually makes no sense. Why do they just make you do a super easy run? I actually do still think, because at least Lemon, When Life Gives You Lemons, has no item room, so at least it's a little challenging. Darkness Falls just gives you an OP setup and tells you go win the run. That crap is terrible. That crap is terrible. You can always ignore the whole gimmick. Yeah, I think when you have to ignore the gimmick, or when you can ignore the gimmick, it's kind of a bad challenge in a way. I think it'd be better if the game forces you to learn a certain gimmick. Free Lemonade plus 4.5 Vault TBH. That'd be pretty cool. 4.5 Vault. Yeah, maybe. Maybe like, because here's my idea on how to fix this challenge. Maybe like give you 4.5 Vault, because I like that. And then do like some weird like coding thing where your tiers do like no damage, but somehow still charges the 4.5 Vault lemons decently. So like you're only relying on One life gives you lemons to do damage. That could be something, I guess. Lemons too bad to really do anything. It's basically just plain purist. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Beans! I mean, it's beans. Got another 9-volt challenge. The bean, the black bean, butt bombs, pyro. Honestly, I only think of this... I actually think the bean is irrelevant here. Same with the black bean. I only think of this run as 99 bombs and butt bombs. I don't think of this run in any other way. Would be flying enemies though? Yeah, good point. They would have to change one life gives you lemons to actually hurt flying enemies. I feel like they should just buff creep in general to hurt flying enemies. I mean, honestly, butt bombs plus pyro is a pretty crazy synergy. And, you know, the game gives you that. That's pretty hype. You can't shoot. Honestly, this one's not bad. Not being able to shoot and, like, having the 9-volt bean as just, like, a normal way to attack instead of shooting. Honestly, that's kind of hype. Wait, am I underrating this challenge? First time I tried this challenge, I ran out of bombs. Literally just butt bombs the challenge. Even here, the bean is borderline useless. But it's basically your way of attacking. Because 9-volt charges, because it's a 1-room charge, right? So it charges in enemy rooms. I don't think this one's bad. Being almost useless kind of makes it lackluster. Champagne Red Mom killed one of my attempts, lol. And an unlife burnt penny. That's a fitting reward. I would not consider it hella fun, though. I actually think it's right below Cat Got Your Tongue. I think that's valid. I don't know. This one's a bit weird. I do like the idea that you can't shoot and you're only regular way. I actually think the thing that holds this challenge back is that they specifically give you 99 bombs. I think maybe as a counter, start you with 25 bombs, right? Like just start the run with 25 bombs and the same setup and match stick. So that way it forces the player to use the bean. I don't think the bean with 9 volts that bad, right? And also give you the item that enhances status effects. That'd be an interesting little synergy. Obviously that's a repentance item, so that's kind of like an update to this challenge, but I think that'd be kind of interesting. Charges with time in the same room, yeah. Usually with like 20 bombs. Yeah, I think this is just a little too overkill on the bombs. That's what makes it kind of like eh. I think if it forced you to use the bean more, I think it'd be a little bit more interesting. I think it kind of like, this is a bit of an identity crisis challenge where the challenge is literally called beans. They clearly want you to abuse the bean in 9-volt, but you just kind of don't. Like you kind of just spam butt bombs. I think it just gives you too many bombs. And you only have to beat mom too. Bean just sucks. You're throwing it away for another shop item? Yeah, probably. Yeah. I still think it's interesting enough. I do value the challenges where you can't even shoot, because it still makes you play the game differently, right? Remember, you can't shoot in this challenge. That's the biggest deal. If you could shoot, it'd absolutely be eh. At least here, there's some times where you don't want to use a bomb, right? You can't just spam bombs all the time. I think this is fine. It's in the cards. You start with, God, all these 9-volt challenges back to back. 9-volt, the battery, deck of cards, starter deck, and 2 random tarot cards. This is an interesting one. You have no shops. I mean, you have no item rooms, but you do have shops. I don't necessarily think this one's too free. I would not consider it free. I mean, it is free, but like, you also don't have to be mom. No, it's definitely free. This is just not that interesting. I actually think the biggest weakness of this challenge is that you only have to be mom. I don't think the challenge is long enough for you to really abuse the cards to its massive benefit. I think make this challenge to a further boss. I think it'd be a little bit more interesting. I don't exactly know how else to buff this challenge. It's just kind of boring, I think. It's just cards and no item rooms. How could you buff this challenge? Pretty boring concept, not gonna lie, yeah. Okay, this is a little bit like headcanon-y. What if, in this hypothetical world, you were forced to use every card you use? So you could not stockpile cards. Like every time you use deck of cards and you already are holding 2 cards in your starter deck, then you use deck of cards, then it just uses the one that you have on right now. So that way if you roll Suicide King, you're just screwed. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. That one's a bit weird. I think this is a very... Honestly, this is an ad challenge for me. It's too boring. This one's boring. I don't like this one, actually. Like, what is this teaching you? I guess it teaches you... It gives you a synergy. This is a synergy, but, like... It's not the same as, like... It's not the same as the excitement of Demo Man. Like, this is just... You have more cards. Ooh. Like, I don't know. Went better at Fennet and Blue Baby. Yeah, I think if it went longer and you had more chances to abuse cards and find out their effects, it'd be something. Punishment cards, but it could be outdated, yeah. Maybe just, like, update this challenge to have Echo Chamber. Give Echo Chamber to this challenge, and then it goes crazy. How about Echo Chamber, no items? That's how I would change this challenge. Give you everything here, plus Echo Chamber, and then no boss or item room items. You would just beat the run with no pedestals in the entire run. Beat the run with only cards. That'd be hype. That'd be hype. Yeah, cards are pretty busted. I guess because it teaches the effects on most of the cards. Yeah, but again, it's just too small. I would agree, but it's too short. It's only up to Mom. Reverse cards break the game in half, so the challenge has been thrown out. Yeah. All items are replaced by starter deck. Drops are mostly cards. Echo Chamber would be sick, would be awesome. That'd be really fun. Yeah, like no items. You cannot... How do you like that idea, chat? No items in the entire run. You cannot pick up any pedestals. You have to rely on cards. But you got Echo Chamber, bro. I can see it. I can see it. Slow roll. This one's fine. I mean, I don't know. Like, to have another My Reflection challenge and it just be kind of whatever. I don't know. Cupid's Arrow, My Reflection, Polyphemus. You kind of just nuke through the run, but like, who cares? It's not that interesting. Like the idea, maybe a challenge with no angel or devil rooms. My guilty confession is after 1,300 hours, I've never used Echo Chamber effectively. Fair enough. Echo Chamber was, you know, it was only, it's a repentance item at the end of the day. Men are cooked. Let's go, the men are cooked. Pika run, but with only cards. That'd be hype, bro. Slow roll is very boring because slow bullets instead of pedestals, they give you a card. Oh, that'd be cool, brainwashed. Wait, you're right. I'm still on the it's in the cards, bro. I'm still on the it's in the cards. Something kind of like it's boring. Isn't this just worse Pong? Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like. This one's really boring. Again, what is this teaching the player? How good Polyphemus is? Like what? My Reflection doesn't even fit in this. I don't even think. I don't know. Is this enough to be trash? It's pretty irrelevant. I guess at least it's like, but what? Why though? It kind of feels like Darkness Falls in a way. Like why? They just give you an OP set? They just try to flex the game. True. Only challenge is dodging in between shooting tiers, and after the first tier, half the room is dead anyway. It's just Polyphemus though. It's not like it's lower tier rate. I would like this idea if the tier rate was so low. I think that's exactly how Pong is, isn't it? I mean, that's the buffed version, right? I think as is, it's just regular Polyphemus. I guess it teaches you how to use Polyphemus. I guess. No, I'll give it a little bit of credit, right? If you're playing Rebirth and you've never used Polyphemus before, maybe you need to learn how to deal with a slower tier rate, right? What the frick does Darkness Falls teach you? You unlock it after having already beaten Blue Baby as Eve. You've beaten Mom's Heart 11 times! And all that challenge gives you is stats. It doesn't even teach you anything. Bro, Darkness Falls sucks ass! I never realized how much I would hate Darkness Falls. What the fudge? At least with Slow Roll, it teaches you how to use Polyphemus. Right? For a brand new player, I could see the argument. Poly isn't hard to use, though. It's about the same as Darkness Falls? No, it's not the same. Because at least Polyphemus... Okay, to be fair, maybe it could be in the same tier. But it's definitely not even comparable to Darkness Falls. Because Darkness Falls only gives you stats. It actually just it gives you an easy run. And you could argue that Slow Roll's the same. But to some players who are only used to shooting quickly, who knows? Maybe if you have less than 100 hours in Isaac, you play Slow Roll, maybe you die a bunch because you're used to shooting a bunch, right? Maybe the low wait time on shooting messes you up in enemy rooms. I could see it. I don't think that's that crazy. Teaches you that Eve is an emo. No, but you already know how to use Eve. American Tennessee going back to how much Darkness Falls sucks cracks me up. Bro, I never realized how much I would hate Darkness Falls. That challenge sucks ass. What was the purpose of that challenge? There's so many things that are wrong about that challenge. They just give you 1,000,000 damage. Like, why? Alright, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It can be trash. I'm not against it. Computer savvy. So this is the first challenge I thought of when somebody said, hey, if the challenge is not hard, then it should not be considered a challenge. So here's the thing with this one. This is one of the easiest challenges. It just is. Like, this is one of the challenges I think of when I think of, yeah, just win the run. That being said, I think it's hella fun. It's a bit odd because it is actually just that easy. But think about this from a context of you just started playing the game, right? What if, imagine somebody who has been struggling to beat Mom. I'm talking way early game. Let's say we have somebody who can't even get past caves, right? They're complete ass. They've never played the game before, right? They're just starting off. They're struggling a lot. So they adventure through the challenges, you know? They lose a few of them, but then they play computer savvy. They say, hey, computer savvy? Hold on, that sounds kind of interesting. They play it, and then they see that you have a purple technology beam. You're shooting double beams. And they home onto enemies? That's kind of hype. So then this player who's never beaten the game before steamrolls through the game, even though they suck. And they might still die because they're that bad, right? They might still die. But, like, they get further than in their regular runs. And then when they beat that computer savvy challenge, they're like, wow, this game is so cool. This is what item synergies can do in this game. If you have these 3 items, or even just 2 of these items, you could do some really nutty stuff in this game. Maybe I'm going to keep playing Binding of Isaac to get other cool synergies like this one. There you go. There's my case for why I think Computer Savvy deserves hella fun. It is also just fun. I mean, what can I say? Homing in tech, that's fun. But I think it does teach the player something. Even if a run is a steamroll, it teaches you a synergy, a really OP synergy. And again, for the context of somebody who's never played the game, it's unlocked by default. You just have to be Mom. I think for the context of and hell, it unlocks something that's fitting for the challenge. Little bonus. I think this challenge does it. I don't think it's as interesting as Demo Man in terms of a synergy, but I think it's good. I actually do think it's good. Teaches you how positive item synergies are really fun. Also shows how This now works compared to Flash when it didn't. Got a wild card to both and computer savvy. Damn. Completely disagree. Yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's definitely a fun synergy, but I feel like Spoonbender kind of snaps it in half and needs some sort of challenge factor. I could see the argument, but I'm looking at this from specifically when the player's meant to play it, and that's at the very beginning of the run. Like, very beginning of the file. I don't enjoy challenges being easy modes. I can agree with that point. That being said, I don't think... remember, this is like based on what a challenge is supposed to teach the player. This one, I think teaching the player is very relevant for the challenges that are unlocked by default. If this was unlocked after anything, even after beating Mom once, if this is unlocked, it'd actually be an eh. Seriously. Like, actually, seriously. If this was even just unlocked after beating Mom once, I'd put it in eh. Like, seriously. That's how much of a difference that makes to me. But from the context of somebody who's never even beaten a single Mom run, I think this challenge is really well designed. Feel like seeing them as a challenge is a bit limited. What they really are is custom runs. Yeah, I agree, Turd. Also, welcome to the stream. Turd, I don't know if you were here when I gave my case for computer savvy. Just as like a quick summary, I think computer savvy is a good challenge from the context of somebody who has never even beaten a Mom run. They're struggling to beat Mom. They can't do it. Maybe they adventure through the challenges. They play computer savvy. They win the run with that, and they're like, wow, there's some really cool item synergies in this game. I'm going to keep playing this game to find more cool synergies. And then eventually they start loving Isaac, and there you go. This is the kind of challenge that can make you love the game, you know? Yeah, I think this. For a wise solar system and hella fun, it teaches you how to play the game. That being said, I'm actually okay. I think hella fun is a bit deceiving, I will say. Because fun is debatable. Let's rename it hella interesting. But then it'd be hard for stuff like computer savvy because I don't necessarily think it's interesting. Let's just say hella good. Screw it. Very simply, hella good. There you go. I think that's a little bit more rounded of a descriptor. I just say it a bit. That's why I said that. The challenges can help you learn synergies and don't necessarily need to be hard. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely custom runs. I kind of wish it had some challenge bolted into it. Something that took advantage of the range and piercing. Actually, I got an idea, a crazy one. Let me hear it, Tank. Security Saga is fun because it's easy. Let's be real. I think it's fun when you do not have much experience. It's not fun to us. This is one of the most boring challenges in the game. But if we're ranking the challenges based on design, I think it's a pretty well designed challenge. Gives you an OP synergy. Teaches you how to, teaches you that there are OP synergies like it. I like it. Every room is 4 times and every enemy count is doubled or tripled. High default speed, so you gotta run and run. Run. That'd be kind of, I can see that. I don't think the speed really again, I get it, but I do think this challenge is good on its own. I don't actually think this challenge is bad. That's why it's here. It's just meant for new players. That's why it's unlocked by default. If a challenge is unlocked by default, that instantly means I'm considering it before you beat Mom. I'll put that out there right now. Every challenge that is unlocked by default should be ranked as if it's being played before you beat Mom. Obviously, it could have a benefit if you play it after you beat Mom. That's completely valid as well. But I think in general, if it's unlocked by default, yeah, before you beat Mom. There you go. But yeah. Let's move on. Waka. This one is actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Very annoying, but this is an anti-synergy, right? You start with anti-grav and strange attractor. Strange attractor makes all of the enemies go towards you. So if you're actually using anti-grav, then the tears will magnetize the enemies flat out to you. So any contact enemies will just murderize you. I feel like this is well designed. It is just annoying though. It teaches you an anti-synergy. But it's not the same as Suicide King. Suicide King has a level of strategy. I think the strategy behind Waka Waka is to literally just spam shoot. Know what I mean? Like, I feel like this one's a bit odd. Like, this one is a reference to Pac-Man. True. This one actually throws me off a little bit. Never replay once you understand the game enough. It is too hard, but what I teach, just prioritizing enemy avoidance. It's already really fun. This one kind of throws me off. I think it's beginner friendly, I guess. I struggled so much with Waka Waka, but it's very unique in terms of anti-synergies. It's cool. Waka Waka is fun. Remember, this challenge used to be way harder. I think Repentance made it easier. You just run away and mobs follow you due to the attractor. That is true. I do remember doing that. If you play Waka Waka as intended, as in always moving, you basically pull enemies around. Disagree, there's an anti-synergy. You're meant to lead enemies into your shots. It's literally like the enemies are Pac-Man and your shots are pellets. Yeah. No, you're right. I forgot. That is definitely the idea. It's pretty cool in that way. Waka Waka teaches that Isaac isn't Pac-Man. You know what? Y'all have actually convinced me. I was gonna put it in mid. I think it deserves hella good. I'll actually put it above Computer Savvy. Because I do remember doing that. I do remember just like running away from enemies and letting the shots just like, and just circling around them while they get levitated by my tears. It's actually kind of cool. It is actually kind of cool. That being said, I don't think it's better than the intrigue of Demo Man. I'm telling you, bro. Demo Man's the only reason why we think of Remote Detonator Dr. Fetus. But yeah, it is very unique. But honestly, I feel like it kind of loses its luster. Like, this basically does nothing against most bosses. Some bosses, for sure, it still works on, but I don't know. This one's just... This one's interesting, but I think it loses its luster pretty quickly. Teaches players Strange Attractor is annoying. True. Yeah, no. Does anybody actually like Strange Attractor? Wait, is this a detrimental item? When is this item actually good? When is Strange Attractor actually good? Give me a synergy that's just objectively better than shooting at base. Because, I mean, this is a cool challenge, don't get me wrong, but is it really that much better than just shooting? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'd rather just shoot. Pause. The Strange Attractor is a detrimental item? Insane. But yeah, I think this is fine. We'll put it right there. Dome Man's definitely better. Though since bosses don't react Strange Attractor properly, it kind of falls apart. Strange Attractor got buffed, and I don't know where it goes now. Oh, it got buffed? I actually don't know it's buff. Let me know about that buff turd. I'm curious. The host. I actually don't remember this one. The Mulligan Spider River Tick. No wonder I don't remember. This is one of the most boring runs of all time. See, why was Tech Point 5 not unlocked for Computer Savvy? Well, to be fair, Computer Savvy was Robo Baby. Yeah, I guess Robo Baby is fine. Tech Point 5 would have made more sense, though, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. This one's just basic. I think for a lot of these challenges, like, you could definitely make the argument this is for a new player, but, like, why, though? You know? Like, why? The items are not interesting enough to make even a new player go like, oh, yes. And it's not good enough to win the run. Like, it's definitely more challenging. Yeah, I don't know. This one's weird. I think this one kind of stinks. I actually put it below slow. I don't think slow roll is that bad. I think y'all are underrating it. I think slow roll, at the very least, it teaches you how to use Polyphemus. Not saying it's hard, but for somebody who's never played a run with Polyphemus, it teaches you how to use it, one of the strongest items in the game. That's fine. What the frick is the host teaching you? Poor man Guppy. Host is so boring. Yeah, when a run is this boring and basically teaches you nothing, I think there's a big difference there. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It teaches you nothing. It actually just teaches you nothing. And you start with no item room. Is this worse than When Life Gives You Lemons? At least When Life Gives You Lemons has somewhat of an interesting synergy with the 9-volt, right? What the frick does this teach you? Change Director had the magnetization decrease as soon as you fire and increases over time, so it's less likely to bring the enemy into your face and more likely to act as kind of a crappy homing. I see. Maybe I'm gonna have to play with it. Skip a 5-run blue. That's the default one. I guess you're a new player. It teaches you how to deal with not being able to get trinkets, and dealing with that is at least is kind of an annoying restriction. I guess you start with the tick. But I think the synergy of When Life Gives You Lemons is at least kind of interesting. A tiny bit. I mean, it isn't. That's why it's in trash tier, but at least compared to Host. Yeah. When challenge is trash, you either have completely forgotten about it or you remember it far too vividly. The Host is just filler. Yeah, I agree. Turt, I know you weren't here for it. Bro, Darkness Falls is the most piss poor challenge. Turt, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on, where is it? The Darkness Falls is now my new least favorite challenge, bro. Like, what the frick were they thinking? They start you as Eve. Very important, by the way. You only unlock it after beating Blue Baby as Eve. Blue Baby! What? Wait, it's Blue Baby! This whole time I was thinking it was Isaac. What are they smoking crack? You unlock this after you beat Blue Baby as Eve, and then after all that, they say, hey, here's Razor Blade Eve with a bunch of damage ups. Why? It's the most, like, asinine challenge of all time. It's way too easy. There's nothing interesting going on here. At this point, you already know how to play as Eve. What are they teaching you here? This challenge sucks. I hate this challenge. I did not realize how bad Darkness Falls would be. That challenge sucks. Okay, but yeah, that was just filler. I agree. Darkness Falls has some context. Eve didn't start. No, I know. I brought up that she didn't start with Razorblade before. But it's really the damage ups and everything that is just so silly. I agree with that it acted. Okay, here's the other thing. I think the fact that it is only unlocked after beating Blue Baby is what makes it extra stupid. That's what makes this extra stupid to me. You need to wait all the way till beating Blue Baby to see this. Now, if this was unlocked off rip, or even after beating Mom's Heart once, and it had no damage ups, there should just be no damage ups. I'll say that right now. The damage ups, like, why? Right? If they were just showing off the Razor Blade combo, valid, right? There's no reason to give you the damage ups. That does nothing for you. It was a pre-buff showcase of Razorblade, and that's fine, but why? After you've beaten Blue Baby and having all these damage ups, there's actually just no point. It's a useless challenge. It doesn't teach you anything, it's just silly. Challenges to teach you something wrong by hiding the fact you can't remove tick. There are other challenges that you can't drop. The trinket, Lamau. Alright, the Family Man. I'm a little biased because I always remember doing the Family Man because I love Epic Fetus so much. So this is like one of the challenges I first start with. This one's hard. This is a hard challenge. I think this is actually the hardest Rebirth challenge. Is that true? Yeah, I think it is. I can't think of a single challenge that's harder in Rebirth. This one's tough. You gotta use Brother Bobby, Rotten Baby, and Sister Maggie as your only way to shoot. Rotten Baby definitely carries a lot, but yeah, it's pretty rough. Dad's Key. The BFFs, though, maybe it's not as hard as I think it is. Poor man Lilith. Yeah, this is basically Lilith before Lilith existed. Teaches you how to aim when using Lilith. Even though this challenge came up before Lilith. I think before Lilith this is kind of an interesting challenge because, again, it forces you to use familiars before Lilith even existed. The Guppy one's way harder. You're kind of right, actually. Yeah, Cat Out Your Tongue is. Yeah, you're kind of right. This one's okay. In a pre-Lilith world, in a pre-Lilith world, I think it's fine. But I do still think it's kind of mid. It's just not that interesting. Like, you're actually just shooting with familiars. It's not like Lilith where you have the box of friends to do some nutty stuff or Cambion Conception. It really does just feel like worse Lilith. In context of Repentance, it's like way worse. But in the context of before Lilith, I think it's fine. It's just kind of boring. It is actually just kind of boring. Is it eh? It feels like playing a very bad Lilith. Lilith didn't exist, this would be fine, but since she does, it sucks. I'm a little conflicted on if I should rank this as if it's only in Rebirth or as it is now. I guess they could have buffed challenges, but they just didn't. It's boring, but just shows familiars. I think even in Rebirth, honestly, I don't think this challenge is that interesting. It's just boring. Like, I get the concept. It teaches you how to use familiars in a world where you just can't shoot. But, like... yeah, I think this challenge just needs to be updated. It's just boring. That's literally all I can say about it. It's actually just boring. I will say it has the challenge factor to it, though. No Way Beans is in mid. That challenge is painfully boring. I could see it dropping. I could see it. I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on Family Man. It does have the challenge aspect to it, though. Maybe it will be mid. I mean, you have to beat Isaac. You have no item rooms. I think the no item rooms beating Isaac requirement with only familiars, honestly, challenge aspect might carry this. It's definitely hard. Like, this is one of the harder ones. Now that I put it that way, wait. Is Cat Got Your Tongue too high? No. Because at least it's interesting. No. Cat Got Your Tongue, like, it makes you play the game differently. Whereas Family Man, it's not like you're playing the game that differently with Family Man. You're still shooting. It's just you're shooting weaker. And, like, with no item synergies either. Love it if they updated all pre-repentance challenges. Yeah. Hopefully in a future Isaac sequel. Because Edmund has talked about an Isaac sequel. Hopefully in an Isaac sequel they... I mean, obviously they will have the context of repentance. So hopefully the challenges in that game would be a lot better. I didn't enjoy Family Man for how unique it is. Even in Rebirth, though, it was just okay. It was just boring. As a Rebirth player, I can say that. It's just boring. No, it is an eh. It actually is just an eh. It's just boring. There's no synergies. That's the biggest problem here. There's not enough familiar synergies to make this interesting. Lilith, the reason why Lilith is such a good character is because Lilith, I mean, obviously Incubus copies her own tier effects, so all of the items actually still work for her. This is a challenge that makes you realize how good item synergies are. And because in this run, you basically don't have item synergies. It's really cringe, honestly. Your only synergy is BFF, and guess what? You start with that anyway. So there's not really much intrigue going there. I'll make the Isaac sequel myself, and she'll be in 3D. I think it's just boring. The challenge definitely carries it a bit, but I don't know. The easy challenges are way more boring. At least Family Man offers a little challenge. It makes me need to engage with the game. I see, the challenge is the one way that I kind of agree. I think for challenge alone, it could at least go in mid. Do I think it's more interesting than tank? Yeah, I do, actually. At least Glass Cannon teaches you how to use Epic Fetus. I think this is probably the highest it goes. I think I can lower Beans below head trauma, though. At least Beans, like, teaches you about 9 Vault being an in-room charge for 1-room item, like active items. I think that's kind of cool. That's fine. Purist. Literally the most boring challenge of all time. Beat Mom's Heart with no item rooms. It is just a challenging run. I don't think it's as bad as people might consider it. I mean... Does Pitch Black... Pitch Black, you have item rooms, but no shops. Purist, you have no item rooms, but shops. This one is very simple. It's unlocked after defeating Mom once. So, like, you're acquainted with the game at least a little bit. So now they give you this challenge, hey, go beat Mom's heart with no item rooms. It's a very simple challenge. It can never go above mid. It just never could. But I think, like, it's challenging. I don't know. Pierce and Flash is cool because it actually is challenging. Pierce and Rebirth isn't even hard. It's just whatever. Is that true? I don't actually remember this challenge, so maybe I'm overrating it. Put beans in trash. That challenge is actually just awful design. Pierce is just trash. Pierce is super boring. It's eh. Also likes the worst rune. Yeah, maybe you're right. It is just boring. I think, like, one of the worst things you could do in this game is just be boring. It's something you can do in the game anyway. Kind of true, actually. Pierce has a purpose. Darkness Falls has no purpose. True. Thank you, Victor. The only thing I'd say about Pierce is that it teaches you that gunning for your deals can get you OP even without items. I don't think it's trash. I think y'all are underrating it. It has a purpose. This is meant to be a challenge, right? It's unlocked after having already beaten Mom, so you're acquainted with the game at least a little bit, like a tiny bit. They tell you, hey, beat the run with no items. I think it's comparable to Pitch Black. I think it's more interesting than Pitch Black, though. Pitch Black teaches you about the curses, which is fine. But, like, realistically, I think Purist is more interesting. Because in a world where you haven't beaten Mom's foot yet for Pitch Black, why does it even matter that you can't see the items? That does nothing to you. Right? Curse of Darkness, I guess. It still teaches you about the curses, so I still think it's valid for Anna. Is it? Wait, is Pitch Black being overrated? Maybe that isn't it trash. I like Pitch Black for trying to track my HP as long as... Oh, wait, I confused the challenges again. I'm sorry. I confused the frickin' curses again. It's Curse of Unknown in Darkness. No, that's true. Curse of Unknown, then, yeah. Actually, no. Wait, never mind. That completely changed my mind. Pitch Black... Wait a minute. I was confusing the curse. For some reason, I thought Unknown was the item one. Is this kind of mid? Pause. For a new player, not being able to track your health is tough. We just leave it in eh. But that's tough. Wait, it's definitely better than Purist. I definitely confused the two. I think it's fine. Purist is fine. At least it has a purpose. I don't feel like It's in the Cards or Slow Roll has as much of a purpose as Purist. There is a design philosophy behind Purist. There's definitely, like, a purpose there. These challenges in Trash have no purpose. That's my argument. Alright, we're finally on Afterbirth. So, instantly in Afterbirth, we already see challenges have gotten way more interesting, right? The Rebirth challenges were really basic. But now, we're getting into some interesting ones. So, XXXXXXXXXL is every floor is the size of an XL womb floor, but does not combine the floors of each chapter. So you just have so many floors. You're dealing with a lot more enemy rooms. It's just the same run as any other run. You just have way more rooms to deal with. I think it's interesting. I actually do think it's interesting. It's just it's an alternative way to play a run. That being said, is it actually fun and interesting enough to be in hella good? I don't think so. I just think it's kind of boring. It's interesting when compared to a lot of these other challenges. Yeah, but it still has all the item rooms. Is it actually just boring? Great, because low-key it feels like a whole journey for a beginner. I hate XXX just because it takes forever. I like min-maxing basement, and then after that it's just taking forever to clear the run. but it doesn't add much. Maybe y'all are actually right. Maybe I was overrating it at the beginning. Because the more I think about it, like, it's all item rooms. It does give you shops. Let me see here. Yeah, like, what does this actually do? I mean, you have to beat more enemy rooms. There's some challenge there. I do think it's more interesting than the Family Man. I do definitely think it's more interesting than the Family Man. Yeah. Yeah. You just have to fight a lot more enemies. Yeah, it's bad when me, the min-max player, thinks it's too much. I think this is fine. This is fine. I think it's barely more interesting than Family Man. Not as interesting as the intrigue of playing with Epic Fetus the first time. I think Glass Cannon specifically gets carried because it's likely the first time you ever play with Epic Fetus. Because it unlocks directly after you unlock Epic Fetus. So for being a, you know, teaching the player how to use Epic Fetus, but it also has an anti-synergy attached to it, I think that's kind of cool. Be cooler if you had like a compass and secret map like you're exploring. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know, am I overrating the item? Am I overrating the challenge? Is it eh? It might actually be eh. Pause. What is it actually teaching the player? How big XL floors are? I might actually just be overrating it. No, maybe not. When you have to fight that many more enemies, it makes getting the devil deal harder. Maybe it's fine. I don't have too many feelings on XXXXXL. At least it's interesting-ish. It's eh. I think it's eh, by the way. You might be right. Alright, fine. Let's go eh. Let's just go eh. I don't have too many strong feelings on that. Speed. Everybody hates this challenge. Everything is sped up like Broken Watch effect. After the game timer reaches 16 minutes, Isaac starts taking damage every 10 seconds. I think... Each player... The challenge is stop trying to teach people at this point and try to be an interesting gimmick, which I think is cool, right? In an Afterbirth world, and you have to beat Mom for this to unlock in the first place, I think that's the way to do it. I'm a little conflicted on this one, because I do think it's interesting. I think this is definitely the most interesting gimmick we've seen. I think it's kind of cool. It forces you to play the game quickly. You take damage after 16 minutes. You really are incentivized to go quick. And like everything moves quick. You take a lot more damage. There's still item rooms, there's still shops. It's literally just a fast run. I think I'm actually low-key tempted to put it in insane. It's definitely at least hella good. Its intrigue is enough to put it in hella good. Like, it's interesting. I'm kind of tempted to have it in bottom of insane. It's a real challenge. It's hard. It's unique. It's an interesting gimmick. And you have to play the game quick. It teaches the player how to play the game differently. Speed up would have been enough without such a tight limit. I think it should be 25 instead of 20. Mr. Hat, are you talking about boss rush or are you talking about this timer? The timer on this is 16 minutes. Definitely a fun idea, but this is Isaac turbo mode fused with a brutal ass time limit. I think I want to put it at the top of hella good. So my reasoning for not putting it in insane is because I think it's a little bit badly designed. Like, how can I describe this? I don't necessarily think the 16-minute timer is needed. I think the turbo mode enemies make you take enough hits anyway. I don't know. I don't think it's needed. No, I kind of get it. I get it. right? It doesn't want you to min-max. Maybe instead of 16 minutes for the entire run, make it if you stay in a certain room for too long, you start taking damage. So that way you can't min-max, basically. Like, you can't stay in a specific room longer than 2 minutes, I don't know, then you start taking damage. It's not designed right, or else it would be a fine challenge. Down this run, because I literally couldn't escape a grimace sucking me into spikes. Yeah, there's definitely, like, plenty of enemies that make the turbo mode a little bit too, like, impossible to dodge. 16-minute timer is less than it seems, because the game is faster, so you clear rooms faster, right? Wish we had some items that synergize with speed at the start, like, I don't know, RAM or something. I think these gimmicks should have been split. Yeah, maybe. I think... I don't know, because I get the idea behind 16-minute timer. I definitely get it. It just wants you to play the game quick. That's all. But I think that combining that with the turbo mode, I think it's just a little bit overkill. That being said, I still think the gimmick's really interesting enough to be top of hella good. I don't think it's as interesting as Suicide King. I think Suicide King has a certain level of strategy to it. I think there's just some rooms where you actually just can't dodge certain enemy combos in speed. The turbo mode is actually like, it's very badly designed depending on the room layout and the enemies. Actually want turbo mode as an option. That'd be kind of cool as an option. Challenge is a little buggy. Mum sometimes stomps you on for ages. I've lost a run to this before. I've seen it. Yeah, exactly. I think the turbo mode is just, it's a little badly designed. In some room combos. That being said, I still think it's interesting. For a one-time run, I can excuse some badly designed things if the run itself is interesting enough, and I think this is interesting enough to be top of hella good. I think Suicide King's perfect, though, so that's insane. I love that challenge. Speed. Oh, wait, no, we're already at speed. I'm a dumbass. Blue Bomber. They really gave you Pyromaniac as Blue Baby. I like this one. I like this one. It gives you bomb immunity with Kamikaze. And you're blindfolded. You need to attack with Kamikaze. This is the only run ever where you actually need to attack with Kamikaze. When do you ever actually use Kamikaze? Nobody actually gets Pyromaniac with Kamikaze, let's be real. This one's kind of hype, actually. And it gives you Brother Bobby as a fitting way to do tier damage for enemies that are too far away. Honestly, this is kind of hype. This is kind of peak. Is this another insane? Maybe. It's simple, but like, it's kind of cool to just spam Kamikaze. It's Demo Man, but better. I kind of agree. It's fun, yeah. Because when do you use Kamikaze? Nobody uses Kamikaze. Blue Baby is a design flaw, IMO. No, I don't necessarily think so, Victor. Hello? If this was with any Red Heart character, it would be so boring. The idea here is just use Kamikaze. Very simply. Blue Baby, I think, was smart. If they give you Pyromaniac... yeah, I don't know. I had Kamikaze and Pyro once in a legit run. It was so peak. This challenge actually mixes easy-ish with fun. Very good mix. I don't think it's that free either. I mean, you have to beat Satan. It's not just Mom. You have to beat Satan. No item rooms either. You're blindfolded. Keep in mind you're blindfolded. You're forced to just use Kamikaze. I think it's interesting. I really do think it's interesting. The Jarsalar character min-maxing is minimized. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I think it deserves insane. Devil Deal Brimstone Bombs. That'd be insane. I like it. Blue Bomber, insane tier. Pay to play. Start with money equals power, sack of pennies, and 50 coins. Every door costs 1 cent to enter. Isaac drops money when hit. Isaac dies if he runs out of money. Oh shoot, he dies when he runs out of money? I didn't even know that. He actually just instant dies when you run out of money? Is it bad that I didn't know that? Does that show that you actually start with too much money? defeat Isaac as Cain and destroy 10 Tenter Rocks. What a weird unlock condition. No item rooms. I mean, I do think that's interesting. You need to keep enough money, and every single door costs a cent. Kamikaze was buffed, it became... It's kind of like Cursed, though. Yeah, I think it's comparable to Cursed. There's definitely some risk versus reward. I think the problem with this challenge is that it's not obvious that you just die if you're running out of money. I actually think that's a flaw. Am I crazy to consider that a flaw? Like, literally, I had no idea that you just die when you're running out of money. To be fair, though, it makes sense that you die when you run out of money. If every single door costs a coin and you can't go through the next door, then yeah, you're stuck. It is pretty cool. I think it's comparable to Cursed. Do I like it as much as Cursed? I don't think so, actually. It has that kind of risk versus reward, like if you're using money, but you need to use money. So money equals power doesn't really matter. You don't want to spend all your money anyway. Isaac gets a heart from debt. Don't remember playing this one at all, but it sounds fairly interesting in the abstract, yeah. 50 is fine because later bigger floors going wrong way can easily kill you. Isaac can't pay his taxes. It's kind of a fun idea. I do like it. It's like an alt Cursed. I think it's right below Cursed. The idea is really interesting. It's just really interesting. Instead of starting with a lot of money. Okay, I think what I like about Cursed is that you start with all the map items. So you're kind of like planning out your path each floor to the most optimal route. Whereas with pay to play, there's a lot more randomness to it. Like, you could just take the wrong path and then just waste all your money. Or you could just take all the correct paths and then just beat the challenge for free. You didn't even notice that you would have died after getting to 0 coins. Yeah, I definitely think Cursed is more interesting. Starting with all the mapping effects and like planning out your route every floor, I think is way more engaging. I might even put this below Demo Man for that. I think that's fine. Yeah. I have a heart. Oh, okay, this one's kind of cute. You start with 1,000,000 heart containers. But you can only heal with Charm of the Vampire. Pennies drop instead of red hearts. Many items that restore red hearts have no effect. Yes, so this one's kind of hard too at the beginning. You have to kill a lot of enemies for Charm to heal. 2 hit or miss, Curse did it better. Curse is better design, but I do like it. It fits having shops too, yes. I kind of like Charm of the Vampire. I think it gets a little boring as time goes on. You still have item rooms. It kind of just turns into a regular run at some point, I think. That being said, just for the early game alone, I think it's kind of interesting. Like, it's cool. I don't know. It teaches you the Charm of the Vampire. It's a cool little gimmick. I think actually the bottom of Hella Good. I definitely think it's a level above the mid ones. Just for the intrigue of it. I think this is just completely fine where it is. Like, this one at the start, you get heaps of money. Find an infinite spawner, wait a while, get full 12 hearts. The only bad part is early game. The rest of the run is normal, which makes it kind of boring. I kind of agree. But that early game is interesting. Yeah, because you have full red hearts, right? So you can't even pick up soul hearts. Yeah, I mean, basically having no soul hearts, kind of tough for that early game. Maybe we should end at a later boss. Yeah, maybe. It's aight. I mean, it's aight. I'm okay with it being hella good. I think it's interesting. No, I disagree. I think it's top of mid. The more I think about it, it is just kind of mid. I think computer savvy, like the stuff that computer savvy does for a new player is definitely way more game knowledge than what Have a Heart does. Just overall. Because remember, this is after you defeat Mom, stuff like that. It's a very different scenario. I think that's fine. I Rule. So this is one of those challenges that like clearly got updated. Wait, I Rule is, I think so, yeah. This is basically what the Spirit Sword challenge became, right? Or was there another Zelda challenge? No. I Rule, you start with the Boomerang, Key Piece 1, Key Piece 2, the ladder, Mom's Knife, and Trinity Shield. In order to unlock it, you need to defeat Blue Baby. The Lamb defeats Satan as Isaac and unlock the negative. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, you start with Mom's Knife. No item rooms, but they're not really needed. Mom's Knife can solo run by itself anyway. Is this one too boring? Maybe. This is, I mean, it has to be Mega Satan, which is kind of interesting for a challenge. I Rule is completely outdated, yeah. I wonder if, do we think Mom's Knife is fun enough to make it interesting? I'm not sure, because it is just that free, isn't it? Plus, honestly, with Trinity Shield, like, yeah, I just think this is a much worse version than the Spirit Sword challenge. I Rule is like Isaac's Awakening, but less interesting. It's not really challenging either. It's been invalidated by the Spirit Sword challenge, sadly. Literally only now that Chez pointed it out did I realize the pun in the title. I feel so dumb. It's kind of cute, to be fair. It is. But it doesn't feel as interesting as Computer Savvy. You know what I mean? Computer Savvy gives you a really interesting item combo. This is just Mom's Knife. It kind of is just Mom's Knife, isn't it? Like, when you really look at all these items, and Trinity Shield is obviously good for the Mega Satan fight, but, like, I don't know. It's just not that interesting, is it? It's just Mom's Knife. I actually think it's less interesting than even Cat Out Your Tongue. Or Head Trauma. At least Glass Cannon. I actually think it's comparable to Glass Cannon. Hold on. Because Glass Cannon is basically your first time having Epic Fetus. That's basically how I'm ranking it. Whereas with I Rule, by the time you beat Mega Satan, you absolutely would have had Mom's Knife before. You've done so many runs at this point. I think it's right here. It's just, like, what's the point, right? It's just a Mom's Knife Mega Satan run. Mom's Knife as a starting item is kind of cool. This is a love letter to Zelda, but it's also easy, yeah. Yeah, it really is just meant to be a love letter, but it's outdated. They should have revamped I Rule as the Spirit Sword one. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, just get rid of I Rule. I guess then it'd be kind of weird, because how else would you unlock Poker Chip? I don't freaking know. I think it was there soon before the Spirit Sword Challenge, but the Spirit Sword Challenge is around. This has no purpose other than legacy. Yeah, I agree. This is fine. It's fine. Brains. Starts with 3 Bob's Brains and Thunder Thighs. I feel bad, because all the explosion challenges I love. I love this challenge. Brains, bro! You have 3 Bob's Brains and you're blindfolded. You can't shoot. It's just shooting with Bob's Brain. It teaches you how to use the Bob's Brain. You know, it teaches you how to arc it, which is good, because at this point in Afterbirth, nobody knew how to shoot Bob's Brain. Everybody considered Bob's Brain a negative item. This item's good. People just don't know how to use it. This is the Bob's Brain tutorial. Edmund really said, man, y'all don't know how to use Bob's Brain. Let me create a challenge that lets you use 3 of them. Throw those brains. Brains is fun, but it's really annoying to have to wait for the brains to come back. I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. Plus there's some challenge there. Actually fun challenge. Bob transformation. OP. I like the Thunder Thighs too. Yeah, I think this challenge is honestly great. I actually think this challenge is great. Do I think it's better than Blue Bomber? It's not better than Suicide King. It just isn't. Yeah, maybe. I think teaching the player how to use Bob's brain is better than giving the player an actual opportunity to use Kamikaze. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I think I agree with that. Bro is a thinker. I think that's fine. Shout out brains, bro. Shout out brains. Friday. $3 bill, Rainbow Baby, Rainbow Worm. You know what? Are you able to get rid of Rainbow Worm? Can I get a fact check on this, chat? Are you able to drop Rainbow Worm? If you cannot drop it, I think this challenge goes up in at least an entire tier. But if you can drop it, I actually think that's a negative. I think it'd be cool if you cannot drop it. I'm ashamed to admit this one took long to beat for me. What, Pride Day? Honestly, this one isn't meant to be a challenge. This one's just meant to be wacky. No, you can't. You cannot drop Rainbow Worm. If that's the case, an entire tier buff for me, actually. It says here, right there, you cannot drop it. Wait, does it? Where? Oh, it does. You're right. My bad. Cannot drop or replace Rainbow Worm. Yeah, that's hype, actually. I actually like that. Rainbow Worm is the thing that makes it, you know, just a bunch of random worm effects. It makes it really wacky. Honestly, I'm totally for this challenge. Not necessarily meant to be a challenge per se, but it's interesting, right? To see all these different tier effects in a run. I think it's interesting enough to be above Computer Savvy, maybe. Actually, I think it's better than Waka Waka. I'm gonna be real, Computer Savvy goes above Waka Waka. Yeah. I think it might just go right here. The fact you can't drop Rainbow Worm is a big deal to me. Because most people just don't even hold the worm items, let's be real. So the fact you're forced to use it, I think at least there's some challenge there. I think this one is just fun. This one is literally just fun. Bernie's Bob's Brain IRL. Men are actually read the wiki entry fully. It's kind of fun. Just shooting funny. Yeah, I'd agree. Com save is better than Waka. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Onin Streak. This is the one where you miss, I think. Yeah, missing a shot deals damage to Judas. This one's interesting. I actually kind of love this one. Chocolate Milk, you start with Judas, Book of Belial, Chocolate Milk. Don't you start with more damage as well? You do start with more damage, right? I thought you did. It doesn't say it here. I thought you started with like infinite damage with Onin Streak. Am I crazy? I do like this one. I actually, you know what? I think this is insane. I'll say it. It's hard. It's interesting. Interesting gimmick. It gives you a lot of risk versus reward with Chocolate Milk. It makes me wonder if they should make an item like this, where if you miss, like what if that was accuracy equals power, for example? Like, you miss and then you take damage, but the damage up is just incredible. Challenge gives me anxiety, hard. Choco just deals more damage. Is it really? It really doesn't have a damage up? You just never noticed? Yeah, maybe Chocolate Milk's just better than I expected. I will say, I'll put this out there right now. By the way, everybody, join the Discord so you can engage in more Isaac talk outside of the all-item streams. A lot of people in my Discord channel have been hyping up Chocolate Milk, and I think I was definitely underrating the item in all items, so we're gonna raise the item up on the next stream. I might just let Turt rank it, because I clearly don't have enough experience with it to adequately rank it. I usually just don't pick it up because I don't like it. But yeah, clearly its DPS is pretty damn good. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm just wrong. Chocobo gives you big damage multiplier. It's just Deadeye with extra steps. I don't enjoy Ono Streak that much, but it is well designed. Yeah, see, I like efficacy. That's a good way to look at it, you know? Even if you don't like the challenge, I like the fact that you can agree, yes, this is a well-designed challenge. It's just not for me, you know? It is well designed for sure. It has a really interesting gimmick. You charge shoot and you try to hit things, you know? It's very simple. I think it's more engaging, honestly, than both of these. Not better than Suicide King. I love Suicide King, alright? Whatever. Suicide King has its own level of strategy to it. It has its own level of skill. Onin Streak, you just gotta not miss, bro. Don't be bad. Challenger Order should have been Deadeye. I kind of like Odin Streak. Odin Streak really makes you better at aiming. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And obviously, it forces you to get better at chocolate milk. Because every shot must count. Yeah, I agree. Alright. The Guardian. Let's move on. Holy Grail, Isaac's Heart, Punching Bag, Spear of Destiny. This one sucks. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Cat Got Your Tongue. This one freaking sucks. Isaac's Heart will follow Punching Bag instead of Isaac. Oh, wait. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. This one's actually kind of cool. Don't listen to me. This one's actually kind of sick. The thing that saves this challenge is that Isaac's Heart follows the Punching Bag. I forgot about that. That saves this challenge so hard. If it was not for that, this would be this would actually be a trash tier challenge. But the fact that the heart follows Punching Bag is so cool. So, enemies will aim for Punching Bag, right? You are literally the Guardian. You are guarding the Punching Bag. I think that's sick. You know what? That's also insane. That actually saves it so hard. I don't like Spear of Destiny. That's my one thing. The fact you can't shoot. But honestly, considering you don't take damage, it's fine. You can just charge at enemies. It's a different way of playing the game. Honestly, it sounds kind of hype. I'll put it right there. It's very unique. It's very cool. Punching Bag runs into spikes. Guardian is difficult but kind of fun. You're literally acting like a protector. I hit a Punching Bag, walks into fire and spikes, and I just die. It's so goddamn unique. It's very unique. Also very interestingly, yeah. This one is unique. Freaking sucks because the RNG scapegoat. Just makes me wish Isaac's Heart worked something like how it does in this challenge instead of how it works normally. I kind of agree. That'd be kind of hype if every time you picked up Isaac's Heart, it kind of worked. Like it basically spawned Punching Bag. That would be so cool. What if that was an item synergy? If you just so happen to have Punching Bag and Isaac's Heart, what if the Isaac's Heart just automatically went on Punching Bag? They should do that. That'd be such an interesting buff. It also wouldn't necessarily be a buff, but it'd be cool. You can body block to protect Punching Bag against projectiles too. Yeah, I actually really love this challenge. This one's really fun. Look, I read Spear of Destiny and instantly thought that it was just a regular like run, but then I remembered what this challenge actually was. This challenge is really cool. Very cool concept, really interesting. Yeah, I love it. Very interesting challenge. I think the risk versus reward of Onin Streak is more interesting, personally, and it doesn't have as much RNG with the scapegoat, but still. Yeah, body blocking with your body is really good. The first Afterbirth Plus challenge. Back Asswards. I actually am a big fan of Back Asswards. I know a lot of people don't like this challenge. I think its uniqueness carries it so hard. You start with 8 to 10 random items. The run literally starts at Mega Satan. You actually start the entire run in the Mega Satan fight. All chapters progress in reverse order, losing one item and one red heart container each floor ascended. I think this is really cool. I think it's so cool that I'm still not gonna put it above Suicide King, but I think it's right here. Back Asswards, I think the one flaw of Back Asswards is that it is so easy to reset Scum. And I do think that's a bit of a negative. You literally start with 10 random items. You could actually just hold R until you get a really OP run and then just beat it. That being said, I still think its concept is really, really interesting. And that alone is enough to make it really high. It's interesting. It's fun. You start the run as Mega Satan and, you know, like, if you're not reset scumming, like you're just dealing with whatever it gives you right off rip, which is how it should be played, then, yeah, even the Mega Satan fight can be tough. I mean, you only have 8 to 10 items. You know, usually when you get to Mega Satan, you're going to have more items than that, right? So, kind of have somewhat of a hard start, right? I love Back Assword, it's one of my faves. This one's so replayable, I agree. Force you to use what you start with, Laz bleeds more. This challenge is, hey, shouldn't hold R scumming against it, as that's not the challenge's fault. I agree. I do agree. There's not really even a way that they could, like, stop that. I don't even necessarily think that is what brings it below Suicide King for me. Again, to me, Suicide King is like its own... It's almost like its own game mode. It's like there's a certain level of skill that you need to learn for Suicide King. And I respect that a lot. Back Asswards definitely just is a lot of RNG, right? It's fun. It's fun RNG, no doubt. But I don't think that it's... Basically, Suicide King is fun because of its skill and what you need to learn. And obviously, it's forcing you to use an anti-synergy. Back Asswards is just fun. I think Back Asswards is the most fun challenge we've done on this list so far. I think I could say that. Yeah. I think that is valid. Pure luck challenge. In a way, it's just fun. It's fine if it's insane just for being fun. That makes it well designed if it's fun. When you beat Mega Satan, you've essentially won already. Kind of true, to be honest. You can also use this challenge to actually try to learn Mega Satan attacks. Kinda, yeah. Feels like its own game mode. I'd easily play this over Greed mode any day of the week. Back Asswards, I could see it. Yeah, I like Back Asswards. Definitely one of my favorites. Thank God they did that challenge, because if they didn't, then Afterbirth Plus would have nothing but absolutely terrible challenges. April Fools. What's good about this challenge is that Maggie holds a pill, easily one of the best character buffs in the game. Items and shops are here. April Fools, what everybody... I love the descriptor on this. Let me read you a paragraph of what this challenge is. The minimap displays the floor's layout accurately, but displays items' position inaccurately. Pedestal items and pickups are not what they appear to be. Active items, pills, cards, and rune effects are randomized upon each use, making them very unreliable or deadly. For example, Suicide King. Items with no charge time can be used repeatedly for random effects. Stonies have a chance of being replaced by Cross Stony. What? Every boss is the bloat. Isaac's health is not what it appears to be. Inventory pickups numbers are accurate. So, April Fools is most people's least favorite challenge. They think it's like way too hard. I don't think it's necessarily hard. I actually think this one is what's the word? It's misleading. Because yes, it's hard on the first 2 floors, but after you beat Bloat on the first 2 floors, free. Actually free. At that point, so what a lot of people don't realize, like, the first thing people think of when they think of this challenge is Bloat every floor, which sucks, right? The Bloat's a hard boss. But what you're not thinking about is how every single pickup is a completely random pickup. So every single coin can just be a soul heart, or a dark heart, or a bone heart. This is usually the challenge that you just have like way more bone hearts than you ever would in any other run ever. Just because they're so much more common, right? Hello? You just have to beat the Bloat in the first 2 floors, and then you can usually just run up after that. Yeah, first boss bloat is definitely hard. It's more annoying than hard, I agree. It's just tedious. Edmund Troll made this challenge, yeah. Force you to learn bloat, but that's it, TBH. It is funny. What I will say, this challenge is very funny. I actually think I'm going to rank that into it a little bit. Because, let's be real, when this challenge came out, everybody hated the bloat. Alright? The bloat actually got nerfed. So the bloat, for anyone who doesn't know, in Rebirth, the bloat used to be a depths boss. But then because everybody hated the bloat, Edmund nerfed the bloat. All he did was move the bloat into the womb. That's all he did. Which also means that you take double damage from him. But I digress. Does anyone remember cross stonies? I don't even know what cross stonies are. I'm gonna be real. I don't know. I think April Fool's is funny. And that helps it. I do think it's interesting. I'll be honest. Like, when I compare it to all the mid challenges, I'd rather play April Fool's than all these mid challenges. I actually would. It is actually interesting. It's actually not that bad. Like, it's kind of just like a fun time to just pick up randomized items and stuff. It's actually not that bad. I think I'd put it right below Pride Day. Is that bad? Is this a terrible take on my part? It's like kind of fun? Am I crazy? There should be a curse you get random on normal runs for no reason. Just like randomize everything and bloat for boss. Stonies, but they shoot. I see. Actually, I prefer beat Mega Satan with bad items and back asswords than April Fool's bloat. Oh, well, so do I. Chance of replacing Mario Stonies, I see. I feel like it seems a bit high for it, though. I don't actually think so. Really think about the challenges in mid. Would you really play any of the challenges in mid over April's Fools? Like, looking at the description of April's Fools, it doesn't sound that unfun, right? Like, I could see myself replaying this challenge. I don't see any reason to ever replay any of the challenges in mid. Is that really that crazy of a statement? It's kind of interesting. All your items are randomized. It's like an Isaac randomizer. It's a fat mid for me because it's peak Edmund Troll. At least it's playable and it isn't too difficult. Like, it's... I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's kind of interesting. At the very least, it's not boring. That's what I at least want to say here. It's not boring. I think all of these challenges are boring. Like, actually, they're all boring. This one's not boring. You're lying to yourself if you think it's boring. I'd rather play I Rule or Have a Heart. Should I move I Rule up just for not being boring? I actually kind of agree with that. But at the very bottom. I know it's kind of a drastic tier change, but at the end of the day, I can see myself playing I Rule. I can't see myself replaying any of the other challenges in mid. And I think that alone is enough for me to rank I Rule higher. Like, Hella Good needs to be at least fun enough for you to consider replaying it, I think. And I think a lot of these are that. Like, I could see myself replaying all these. Mid, I cannot. Too boring. I agree with that. Alright, let's do that. I don't think it's that crazy. For all April Fools over, Comp Sav and Waka. Yeah, that's why I put it above. I agree. I think April Fools is interesting. Also, I think it's really funny that Bloat even replaces Mom's Heart. At that point, Bloat is definitely easier than Mom's Heart, but it's just funny. Like, it's funny, bruh. Alright, we got Pokemans. This felt like a challenge that needed to be done, right? Like, this feels like such a given. Alright, you start with Friendly Ball and Mom's Eyeshadow. No item rooms. Each use of Friendly Ball causes a random monster to be spawned. Friendly Ball instantly charges once the spawned monster is killed. Yeah, so this is basically Pokemon the Challenge. Unlocked by defeating Mom's Heart 11 times. I think it's simple, it works, and it's fun. You're using Pokemon. No item room. I think it's fine. I don't think it's too easy. I don't think it's too hard. I think it's just solid. I think it's fun. The fact that the item instantly gets charged after a monster dies means it can be used. Yeah. It can be used the moment a Pokemon dies. I think that's cool. I think it's fun. I remember having a lot of fun with this challenge when I first played it. I am willing to put it right here, I think. No, above Friday even. Wait. Above Pay to Play. I think right there. I think I agree with that. I actually really like this challenge. I think it's specifically because when the monster dies, you could just chuck another monster out. So you could really just rely on the monster. I think that's pretty cool. Evan didn't nerf Bloat. He still appears in Necropolis. Oh, does he? I guess I'm just wrong. My bad. Use Guppy's Paw or any non-charge active. Spam the hell out of it and you randomly win. Fairly enjoyable challenge. Got me to use Friendly Ball more than normal runs. Pokemon's kind of fun. Pokemon's freaking fun, yeah. Kind of annoying, though, when multiple monsters die, so you waste charges. Do I think Pokemon's... Wait. I think I'd rather play Pokemon's than all of these challenges. Is it insane? It's fun. You have to beat Isaac, too. Would I rather use monsters to attack or kamikaze? I think monsters. Would I rather use Bob's brain to attack or monsters? I think monsters. I think that's exactly where it stops, though. The Guardian's so interesting. Wait, this challenge actually rose so much for me. That's insane. It's so simple, but it's just fun. You actually just spam monsters. And you know, you have no item rooms, so you definitely do rely on them a decent bit. And it unlocks a... Oh, well, never mind. I thought it unlocked... Never mind, don't worry about it. Monsters to attack because it's much more unique and harder to do in a normal run. Yeah. Honestly, I'm for it. That challenge went way higher than I expected it to. But I do just remember having a ton of fun with it. Maybe it's bottom of insane. I think Blue Bomber is more fun personally, but it is pretty damn cool. I can see the argument. Maybe I think Blue Bomber is better than Brains. Just the fact you have to get close is kind of interesting to me. Yeah, I like this. At the end of the run, you just have so many enemies helping you. Yeah! You have a freaking crew. Ultra Hard. So, we're finally here. We put Ultra Hard at the top of Insane in the thumbnail, so it must be top of Insane here, right? You know, because my thumbnails are always super accurate. You know what? I'm curious. I want to do a poll. I want to do a poll. Do you like Ultra Hard? I just want to see. I just want to see. I'm just curious. This is the most polarizing challenge of all time. Put quite simply, do you like Ultra Hard? Edmund tier. We should make a new tier below trash and call it Edmund. That challenge made me believe that the Pokeball was OP. Oh, that's for the odd. Yeah, of course. Uh, 83% are saying hell no for Ultra Hard. I was just curious. Okay. Ultra Hard is so disappointing. I'm surprised that there are actually people saying they like it. More power to you. I think the people that are saying that they like it are being cringe and saying they like it because they're like, oh, well, I just like a good challenge. Beach. Ultra Hard, to me, is not a challenge. Ultra Hard, it is hard. I mean, it is at the very least accurate. It is hard, but in probably the worst way possible. Ultra Hard feels like it absolutely needs so much RNG. It does not feel like it's the hard, like, it does feel like it's the hardest thing in Isaac, but in just such a, in all the wrong ways. God, there's so much to go over for Ultra Hard. It's definitely recognizable, I'll give it that much. All enemies spawn as champions, if possible. Boss fights will be double trouble, if possible. No heart pickups drop. That's the hardest part about this challenge. No heart pickups drop. Now, when people read that descriptor, they're not actually thinking about what that means. When no heart pickups drop, that means the only way to get additional hits, because this is all heart drops. This is not just red hearts. This is soul hearts, bone hearts, dark hearts, red hearts. None of them drop. And it doesn't matter what item you have. If you have the relic, it will not spawn soul hearts. It just won't. Right? Any item that drops red hearts, like you have like little Chad, it will not drop red hearts. Some items just don't work. No heart pickups drop, ever. Not from room clearing, not from anything. If you bomb a tinted rock, no soul hearts will ever drop. It just won't. That is absolutely the hardest part about this challenge. I actually think this challenge would be a lot better if this was not a condition. Like, honestly, if you gave me all these conditions and just let me have heart pickups, I think it would be... Or maybe even just have the chance of heart pickups. No heart pickups makes this challenge dreadful. It is actually dreadful. It is dreadful. It makes you... Yes, it has its own level of strategy to it. Like, Placenta is a million times better in this challenge. Leech is a million times better. Charm of the Vampire is a million times better. Because you have no way to heal. You need ways to heal. It does do that. And there's some intrigue there. You start with all the curses. Every single floor. Curse of the Maze, Curse of the Lost, Curse of the Blind, Curse of the Labyrinth. It sucks ass. Every single floor is an XL floor, meaning you just get less devil deals. You have to fight Mega Satan. The reward is so bad. I actually don't even think the reward's bad. That's the worst part. I think the reward's actually good. You get Child's Heart as Samson normally? Well, yeah, but Child's Heart is extra good on Samson. So to start that at base is actually a good reward. It's not worth it. Don't get me wrong. It's not worth doing Ultra Hard. Because Ultra Hard's the worst challenge in this game. I'm a little conflicted, though. So, I wanted to put Ultra Hard at the very bottom of this list, no matter what. But do I think it's more interesting than the trash tier challenges? Kind of? I hate this challenge. But I can't say it's uninteresting. Like, I'm not bored when I play this challenge. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I do think it's badly designed. Because it just feels way too brutal to a point where it feels like you actually have to reset scum sometimes. This is one of the only challenges I actually did reset scum for. Full transparency. If I could change this challenge, I would remove the curses. The reward is fine, but ultra hard is just too painful. It barely feels worth it. It is actually just that painful. I don't know. Because when I look at the bottom tier, I think I'd rather play ultra hard than anything in the bottom tier. I hate ultra hard, but it's kind of interesting. I'm trying to do ultra hard on my file. It's so horrible. It is, but like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, it's so insane that like, it's like not the absolute worst thing ever. No amount of interesting elements saves such a badly designed challenge. You're not completely wrong. Okay, hear me out. What about right above Darkness Falls? Listen, man, what's the point of Darkness Falls? I'm not against it going at the very bottom of the list. I do hate ultra hard. I think it's really badly designed. Are you a masochist? No. But I just mean, like, if I think about it in my head, if I was to go back to play any of these challenges, ultra hard is actually not, like, I could see myself replaying it, which is ridiculous. This is the challenge I reset scum for a library, yeah. I hate Darkest Souls, but I think ultra hard deserves its own tier. Ultra hard is around purist tier. It is just really bad. This one's so weird to me. Because, like... Okay, this is which challenge is the best designed. It's not necessarily based on how much fun it is. And I don't think it's fun. I just mean, like, I'd rather replay ultra hard than many of these challenges. I didn't play ultra hard yet. TBH, just hearing about it scares me. It sucks. It actually just sucks. It's one of the only challenges you actually kind of need to reset scum for. I actually reset scum until Tech 10. I have a horrid time. It is terrible, to be fair. It is terrible. Fine. It's terrible. I know it's terrible. There you go. Ultra hard. There you go. It is a badly designed challenge, and I know it is. This is why we need Turt. It's Tech X, not Tech 10. No number. Edmund tier, Hilda King baby. Ultra hard is crap, and water is wet. No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine to have its own tier. It is just very badly designed. I need to think about it from how it's designed and not how, like, interesting it is. Because it is interesting, but it's not well designed. It's very badly designed. It's not Isaac. It just isn't. Alright, let's move on. Pong. It's funny. They should have made Ultra Hard the final Afterbirth Plus challenge, but then they just ended with Pong. Damage fixed at 100. It is always 100. Tier delay fixed at 150. Cupid's Arrow, Rubber Cement. This one's actually kind of fun. It makes you deal with a really low tier rate, and you just, like, hit really freaking hard. Yeah, I think it's simple, but it's pretty good. I would go as far to put it in Insane. I will have it right above Brains. I like the idea that you need to struggle to dodge enemies while you're waiting for the tier to actually charge back up. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's funny, like, compared to Ultra Hard, I have way less to say about Pong. Pong is better slow roll, yeah, definitely. Slow roll 2, for sure, for sure. No, this is definitely better slow roll. Where did I put slow roll? Yeah, I see slow roll. Yeah, slow roll is just kind of pointless. Slow roll, but it sticks to its gimmick. Yeah, I agree. The vastly enhanced tier delay is much more engaging, I think. I wouldn't put it that high above slow roll, but that's just me. Whoever someone makes it fun for makes for fun behaviors. You know what? Maybe it's not insane. Maybe I'd put it hella good. It doesn't make me like freak out. Like, oh my god, this is so much fun. That being said, I actually think insane should be its own level. I'm gonna drop Blue Bomber and Brains. I do like Blue Bomber and Brains, but I think these are definitely like, they're unique. I don't think these are like that interesting. These are interesting, I think. You know what I mean? Like, these feel like another level of intrigue to me. These are fun. They definitely are. But insane, maybe a bit too high. But yeah, I'm okay with this. I actually prefer Cursed over Pong. I actually kind of agree. I think the mapping effects is so good. Planning out your route is so interesting for Cursed. What a great challenge. But I like this for Pong. Scatman. The first Repentance challenge. This is the only Repentance challenge that is unlocked off rip. You start with the poop, 9 volts, Scatoli, E. coli, 3 butt bombs, BFF, Thunder Thighs, Dirty Mind, and Mysterious Candy. This is literally just highbrow, but like better. This is the buff version of highbrow. The difference is that this one is actually fun. I actually like this one. Mainly just because of Dirty Mind, honestly. Dirty Mind is such a fun item, especially combined with BFF. It's simple, but it's good. Combining that with the poop as well, like, as an active item. I don't know, it's simple, but I like this one. I really like Scatman. I think this is a great idea for a challenge. I just think Dirty Mind is fun. That's right, and you're blindfolded. I forgot. I actually forgot about being blindfolded. Yeah, this challenge is really fun. It really is. I would be willing to put it above Guardian. Actually, above Onin Streak. I think it goes right there. The fact that you're blindfolded really does a lot for me. Because you just poop and then you break it, and you have to rely on your Dirty Minds. I think that's so cool. I actually think that's so cool. And you got the 9 volt, so like while you're in a boss fight, you're just like waiting for the 9 volt to charge up the poop. Like, I don't know, it's really cool. It's its own strategy. Stop, when I put it that way, it is above back ass words. Pause. This challenge is kind of hype. Some of this challenge is just revamped version of older challenges. It really is. Dirty Mind is alright. Don't have any strong feelings for it. Why is highbrow mid? I drop it to eh. I definitely think highbrow is better than the ones in eh. The eh challenges are basically like very whatever. Like there just aren't strong feelings for it. That being said, no, just move on. Slow roll feels weird in eh. Slow roll doesn't feel boring. No, I mean, it does feel boring. It's just in a different way. Like, it's too easy. I like this challenge with back ass words is so unique. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. No, you're actually kind of right. I like the idea of the strategy, though. But yeah, it's not the same as Suicide King. I was comparing it to Suicide King by saying that, but it's not the same. Suicide King is like a certain skill you need to learn. Whereas Scatman, technically it is just waiting and dodging until the poop charges. So it's not that interesting, right? It's still cool though. I do like it. Bloody Mary. Plus you unlock Dirty Mind. That's good, right? A fitting unlock. There you go. Bloody Mary, honestly, pretty hype. You unlock this after unlocking Bethany. I think this is the first time I played as Bethany, funnily enough. You start with Book of Belial combined with Book of Virtues, Blood Bag, Anemic, Blood Oath, and Child's Heart, and 4 Soul Heart charges. This one is freaking terrifying. Actually, one of the hardest challenges. Bethany, for anybody who doesn't know, Bethany cannot have soul health. So every single beginning of a floor, you will always be at 1 hit. Unless you have like Holy Mantle or maybe Bone Hearts work? Bone Hearts might work. Bloody Mary shows how bad Blood Oath is with Beth. No, for real though. Bloody Mary is fun. Bloody Mary is actually a hard challenge that isn't cheap BS. Yeah, I agree. So this is how you make a hard challenge, I would argue. Maybe a little too hard even. Like actually, like, think about this for a second. It is impossible to have more than 1 hit unless you just get really lucky with an item. Maybe Bone Hearts work, but you still have to get really lucky to get that. It's kind of tough. That being said, you do still have the Book of Virtues, so that will give you some wisp to protect your stuff. You can reroll your items. No, you can't. This is regular Beth. You do obviously have a lot more damage with Blood Oath, so there's that. I think it's above Onin Streak, personally. It's very interesting. They gave Blood Oath to the character that is the worst with it. By far. You are literally 1 hit every single floor. But like, it really makes you use Blood Oath correctly, is the thing. And I kind of love that. You want to heal as much as you can on the floor you're on before you go to the next floor, so you can get more damage to protect yourself for the next floor. I think it's great. I actually think it's great. You want to get as much damage as you can so you can nuke enemies and protect yourself. Right? This is the definition of Glass Cannon, right? Or a good defense is a good offense, you know? I think it's next to Suicide King. You don't have virtues? Do you not efficacy? You really don't have virtues? You don't have Wisp, you have Belial. I thought it was virtues plus Belial. God, that's tough. Love how powerful you get with this challenge. Baptism by Fire F tier challenge in fun level. No, I guess not. I think where I have it is kind of... Well, no, I think where I have it is kind of correct. It might actually be a little bit too unforgiving every floor. You could just always die. Like, you just get hit. Very simply, from a really unlucky room combo. Yeah, it's simple, but it happens. It makes the beginning of every floor extremely hard, but then, like, the final boss is always the easiest part of the floor, because that's when you have your health. Only Belial, let's read the wiki. Well, I know it says the Book of Belial, but you're starting as Bethany, which always starts with Book of Virtues. So I had assumed you start with Book of Virtues. Only Book of Belial, Beth. It's still fine though, IMO. I think this is actually a little bit too brutal for me to put it above Scatman. I think Scatman's just level of fun outbeats it. But this is a great hard challenge. It is hard, maybe just a bit too brutal, but it's fun. It's very anxiety. This is definitely a much better way of doing a hard challenge than Ultra Hard is. You could just solo charges and Bile. I actually think if the fact that there's no virtues makes it even worse to me. I think it absolutely should have started with virtues, because at least virtues would give you a little bit more protection to work with. And it would make you value Book of Virtues more. I think, honestly, not letting you have virtues is kind of a throw of the challenge. Isaac starts with E6, but in the challenge is not. I don't think it's that unforgiving, TBH. You got Child's Hearts, you can heal quite quickly. I think it's a good amount of her. I don't think it's too brutal. I think it's fine. But, okay, I shouldn't say too brutal, because that's not really exactly what I mean. I just mean, like, it's brutal in the way that, like, you could just get unlucky and just get a really bad enemy room. You still have to clear rooms. You, no matter what, need to clear rooms. Every floor. You could just run into a floor and just die. Right? It happens, you know. No Book of Virtues. Book of Shadows insane in this challenge, I bet. I think where I have it is perfectly fine. It's still really high. I mean, this is a great challenge. I love this challenge. When I first did it, I thought it was extremely interesting. It made me learn Blood Oath. And that's, hell, that's what it is, right? Teaches you Blood Oath. I respect that. Alright. Baptism by Fire. Start with Urn of Souls. You're blindfolded. School Bag. Guppy's Paw. Maggie's Faith. So again, you're playing as Beth. I feel like the Guppy's Paw is a throw. Am I crazy? I guess you kind of need it, otherwise you can't, otherwise you can't Urn of Souls. Gives an Eternal Heart at the start of every floor, yeah. I don't really like this one. But I respect it. It's at least interesting. The thing with these repentance challenges is that they are at the very least interesting. And I gotta give them that. It is interesting. I don't think it's insane, though. I think it's a little bit too clunky. It's interesting. I think I'll put it right here. I hate this challenge. You need Paw for either because you won't have enough fire. I kind of abstractly like the premise of this challenge, but actually completing it felt like banging my head against the wall. I kind of agree. I beat it with Golden Bomb and Cathedral. It makes me feel like I have limited ammo. Is it a throw? This took me more tries than Bloody Mary. I hate this challenge too, actually. It's just not fun, is it? You know what? The limited ammo is just like not... But it is interesting. But I don't know. Never mind. I think it's top of mid. It's just not fun. And I think a challenge has to be at least some level of fun to be in hella good. At the very least, its intrigue should keep it at the top of mid. It is interesting. An issue with Urn is the amount of souls you get back is not enough to fuel it, so you will need to spend heart containers eventually in some rooms. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I'm actually just not a big fan. Put quite simply, it's just not fun. That's my reasoning. It's just not fun. Isaac's Awakening. Defeat Mother. New challenge condition we haven't seen yet. Start with Spirit Sword, Trinity Shield, and Mom's Bracelet. Mom's Bracelet being the most relevant item in this challenge, let's be real. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it unlocks Spirit Sword. Obviously a very fitting reward. I think the fact that this is your first time using Spirit Sword is actually very important. This is the first file... I mean, this is the first time in a file you will ever use Spirit Sword, and I think that's important to note. Because that makes this challenge feel so unique. You are starting with a completely unique item you've never used before, no matter what. We're assuming that that this is not a second file. That's a little unfair, I think. Assume that this is the first time you ever use Spirit Sword, and then you're having a blast. You're actually just having a blast. I think that alone makes me put it in insane. Because it's basically Spirit Sword the challenge. But it is the first time you ever use Spirit Sword. And it has an interesting defeat condition, Defeat Mother. This is the better version of I Rule. Yeah, I don't know. Put quite simply, it's fun. Literally Zelda tribute. It's very, very fun. Shows how OP the sword is. Yeah, like, you want to talk about a way to teach the player how to use an item. Teach it in a challenge where it is the way to unlock the item. You unlock the item by beating Mother with it. How crazy is that? I remember it felt very thrilling getting to use Spirit Sword for the first time. Yeah, I agree. The first time you use Spirit Sword, that crap hype, all right? And this is the first time you use Spirit Sword. That's the most important thing about this challenge to me, is that it is the first time you use Spirit Sword. I think if it wasn't, if you unlocked it some other way, it'd actually just be hella good. Which is still something. I think it would obviously still be above I Rule because it's more interesting. But the fact that it's the first time you use Spirit Sword, 100%. Insane. Looking is fine for first playthrough, but it's not that challenging or replayable. I agree. It's not really meant to be replayable, but for the first time you play it, it's an introduction to Spirit Sword. I think that's hype. And it unlocks the item. It's a very fitting unlock. This is when I do consider the unlock. When the unlock is fitting for the challenge. And it is. It is the item that you use. Tutorial for Spirit Sword, exactly. This is great design. This is peak design. You create a challenge that gives you a completely unique item that you've never seen before. Make the player beat a run with it, and guess what? That's what unlocks you the item that was, you know, carrying you through the run. I think that's super hype. I love it. I love it. That being said, I think the Guardian's a little bit more unique, so I'm going to put it below that, but still. Seeing Double. Seeing Double starts with Jacob and Esau. They both have 20/20 and X-ray vision. All enemies and bosses are doubled. I like this challenge, but it's a little buggy. I do like it though. It's kind of cute, right? Like you fight two moms' hearts and stuff. You do just have to play Jacob and Esau. That's my fave challenge. I played it several times. Jacob and Esau are overhated. I do think Jacob and Esau are a little overhated. But at the same time... Seeing Double is the only fun Jacob and Esau run. This one should unlock Vanishing Twin, TBH. So true. So true, Unreal. But you might get outscaled quickly. One of the only times I've had fun with Jacob and Esau. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Is that enough to make it insane? It is really unique. I don't necessarily think it's well designed though. If this is a good design tier list, there's just a lot of bosses that are just like impossible to dodge. You're really just meant to nuke with Jacob and Esau with double 20/20. Seeing Double's an undodgeable damage, the challenge. Betrayal goes hard in this challenge though. I think I'm gonna put it at the very top of hella good. I really like it. But I just feel like there's something about it. If this is a design-based tier list, I don't necessarily like how it's just impossible to dodge sometimes. I think it's fun, definitely carries it. I mean, hell, this is a great spot for it. I just don't think it deserves insane. Because to me, an insane challenge has no negative. I don't think any of the challenges in insane have a negative. That being said, this one, it's just fun. It is quite simply fun. Pick a run. I'll be honest. Start with Mom's Box, Marbles, and Mom's Purse. It'd be really cool if this is how you unlock marbles. I wish this was how you unlock marbles. All items are replaced by random trinkets. Marbles activates on every hit. On every single hit? Damn. All items are replaced by random trinkets. You know, I love Suicide King. I think this might be the best challenge in Isaac. It's so simple, and it's like kind of overstated at this point. Like everybody loves Pika Run. It's just cool. What else is there to say? It's just cool. It makes you realize how good some trinkets are. It makes you use synergies you never would have before, because like this is a run that does something you cannot do in a normal run. You cannot have as many trinkets as you can in Pika Run. You can't. Even if you have a Marbles run, you will not be able to suck up that many trinkets, because Marbles activates on one use in this challenge. You have Mom's Purse, so you double suck up trinkets every time you get hit. Every single time. And you have Mom's Box, so you have more powerful trinkets as well. I think Pika Run, it does something you cannot do. It's unique. It's hella replayable. I've replayed through this challenge like 4 times. I think it's a ton of fun. It gives you synergies you couldn't have had otherwise. One time I had a Baby Bender, Blood Clot, Isaac's Head, just like a bunch of the trinkets that give you a familiar to shoot. I had a bunch of those with Baby Bender, and that card was freaking hype. Like, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. This would have been a fun introduction to Marbles. Yeah, honestly, if this absolutely should have unlocked Marbles. That would have been sick. JMS don't have Marbles unlocked. Marbles is great. Pika Run is a fun concept, but I've never tried playing it more than once. Didn't really seem all that replayable to me because of how easy it was. The name sounds funny to me because Pika in Brazilian Portuguese means dick. True. I don't know. I still think it's replayable. It has a lot of different synergies. To be fair, a lot of us don't think about replaying these challenges. If you don't think it's replayable, just think about all of the challenges, right? None of these challenges are that replayable. But if I had to pick one challenge in this entire list to replay, it's Pika Run. It actually just is Pika Run. What challenge would you rather replay more than Pika Run? Pika Run is so unique. Every run is still different. There's so many different trinkets to choose from. Hello? Pika Run is the run I replay the most. Like, none of these challenges are that fun to replay, because obviously you only have one unlock you're getting for doing them. I'm just saying, if you had to pick one challenge in this entire list to replay, I think it'd be Pika Run. Red Redemption. Red Redemption is also fair. Wait. Red Redemption. Oh. No, we haven't gone there yet. Never mind. I thought you were talking about Bloody Mary. I could see Bloody Mary. I could see any of the insane tiers. I mean, that's why they're insane, right? But Pika Run, to me, I don't know. It's unique. It does different synergies. It actually is different every run. Like, most of these other challenges is the same thing. In Guardian, when are you not just running up to the enemy and just freaking body blocking shots? It's the same thing every run. As much as I love Suicide King, it's the same the entire run. I mean, I still respect it so much because it's like a different skill to learn, but it's still the same thing every run. It's not necessarily replayable. It's just when you learn it, it's satisfying because it's like its own, playthrough. Back Asswards is replayable. I'll give Back Asswards that. Scatman, it's the same thing. You spawn poop every single room. Bloody Mary, it's the same thing. Every single floor, you get as much health as you can, so you can out-damage things to a point where you don't die. Onin Streak, don't miss. Ice Awakening, Spirit Sword through everything. Pokemon, spam Friend Ball. Pika Run, how many different things can you do in Pika Run? So many different things. It's literally its own game mode. I think it's so obvious that it's the most replayable challenge. Like, actually, I don't think anything's comparable in terms of replayability. Pika Run more like Peak Run. It's not even close. Like, honestly, Pika Run could be in its own top tier. I'm not gonna do it because I've seen a few people who say it's not that replayable. If you can look at Pika Run and look at the other challenges and say it's not replayable in comparison, that's crazy. That's all I'm saying. Delete this? Okay, delete this is also fair. But still, like, I'm just saying there aren't that many. It is replayable compared to the other ones. Hot Potato. I actually don't like Hot Potato. This one seems like it'd be fun at first, but I actually don't like this one. The Forgotten cannot fire tears. This is Tainted Forgotten, by the way. Forgotten cannot fire tears and explodes every 2.5 seconds. Explosion timer resets upon entering a room or picking up an item. I just don't like it. The thing I don't like about this one is I don't think the explosion is like Dr. Fetus. I think it's just a regular explosion. Like, it's regular explosion damage. Like, it doesn't have synergy. When you first play it, you think, oh, this is a really cool idea for a challenge. It just kind of sucks. It's frustrating rather than fun. Hot Potato is the worst crap ever made. The timer's too short. I just don't like it. It is very simply just not fun. I actually think it's badly designed. But it's interesting. I was underrated Tainted for Gore because I think of Hot Potato. That's fair. Becomes old fast, yeah. Hot Potato was very frustrating, yeah. Just way too hard to time it so you dodge correctly and attack at opportune times and avoid self-damage. Skeleton has less contact damage too, makes it even more infuriating, yeah. It's very clunky. I think it's wrong. I think it's bad. I actually think it's bad. This is why I don't like Ultra Hard in its own tier, because, like, I think I'd rather play Ultra Hard over Hot Potato. Is this bad? Like, I'm gonna do a poll on this one. Should I re-rank Ultra Hard? I'm conflicted because I've always hated Ultra Hard. I always said it was my least favorite challenge. But, like, when I'm looking at these, I really would just rather replay Ultra Hard than any of the other trash tier challenges. The trash tier challenges are just so boring. Is that insane? Like, at least Ultra Hard has that challenge aspect to it. Ultra Hard, make a new category for Hot Potato. Like, would you really rather play Hot Potato than Ultra Hard? At least in Ultra Hard, you can be good at the game. In Hot Potato, it's pretty much impossible to knock it out under certain circumstances. Bomb modifiers work on Hot Potato's bomb explosion. Insane. I still think Ultra Hard is worse than Hot Potato, but they are similar in how they both go against the meta of the entire game. Still hate Hot Potato. Most people say no. Alright, whatever then. Maybe I'll just ignore it. I mean, I do still hate Ultra Hard. It was only probably going to go at the bottom of eh. It's just like, it's so dumb, but like, I'd rather play Ultra Hard than any of the other stuff in trash. The trash tier challenges are so mindlessly boring. I don't know. Ultra Hard has replayability. it is just your most hated challenge because you can't just beat it once and get it over with. You have to play it multiple times to beat it. You know, Victor, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Play Ultra Hard right now and you'll change your thoughts. You're probably right. The problem with Ultra Hard is that sometimes it doesn't even feel like skill is necessary. Like, it actually feels like RNG sometimes. Like, you actually just need to get good items. Chances of cheesing Hot Potato are so slim, too, since you have access to no items. You have to resort to chaos and shop in a crawl space into getting something. Don't enjoy being teleported randomly in an Excel floor without mapping, though. Just a nothing burger. Maybe you're right, chat. I think Victor's point was very valid. Ultra Hard does have replayability. Like, it's more interesting to replay than most of these challenges, honestly. But when you're trying to get that W, it is so annoying. You're actually so right. That was a really good point. I'm not gonna lie. I respect that point quite a bit. Can tripped. Okay. This one pisses me off. I love Can Tripped. But the problem is that I played this before playing Tainted Cane, and I love this challenge. I adore this challenge, and I thought that's how Tainted Cane was gonna play, and was instantly disappointed to find out how he actually played. All cards and pills are replaced with item cards. Enemies also have a chance of dropping an item card when killed. The bag of crafting now initially holds a maximum of 3 item cards at once. When picked up, each item card shows a preview of a random active item that when used activates the effect. All boss item drops are replaced with starter deck, which increases the max card limit by 1 and then drops 3 item cards. This, the most unique hands challenge, hands down. Yeah, I mean, it probably is. This challenge was nerfed for no reason. Android was so good. Tainted Cane. Tainted Cane is booty cheeks. This is literally how Tainted Cane should have been. Yeah, I agree. I'm so glad that most of my community hates Tainted Cane as much as I do. I'm actually shocked because I think most people actually agree, like, in terms of, like, obviously, because most of y'all are from me and Turt's list, right? I think more people agree with Turt's takes more than mine. So I'm shocked that more people like Tainted Cane, because Turt loves Tainted Cane. It's like he's like one of his favorite characters. But I despise that character. So I don't know. I was really shocked in the character fun list that he was ranked so low. I'm getting sidetracked, but yeah. I'll be honest, I only played this once. I really want to play it again, but I remember loving it so much. I really just remember loving it so much. This challenge is just its own game mode. Sadly, you need to beat Mom. Yeah, you know what? That's its biggest weakness. It's only up to Mom. I think more people agree with you, but you do sometimes have some insane takes. I've actually noticed, in terms of my takes, I think most of my bad takes are for items that get nerfed. Like, I ranked D20 so high because of how it was in Rebirth instead of how it got nerfed in time. Stuff like that. Like, I definitely have, like, previous version blind sight, right? Min-maxing is fun, Tainted Cane min-maxing is lame, true. This plays very fast. Anyway, playing it a few times, it's really fun game mode. But why is it only Mom? I actually think only Mom? Wait. Is that actually just bad? That is actually terribly designed. I was about to put this, like, next to Pika Run. But, like, realistically, that is actually bad design. Why is it only Mom? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is after you beat Beast. Or at least get to Beast. So that means this is post-Mother. And they really gave you a Mom challenge? I get it for Dirty Mind, because they wanted to have a repentance challenge that, or I get it for Scatman, because they wanted to have a repentance challenge that you could, you know, you could play right off rip, right? Even in a new file. I get that. But the unlock condition for this challenge is to literally unlock Tainted Cane, which is post-Mother. This is post, like, you probably, you have fought Beast, or at least Dogma. I actually think that's the dumbest, that, like, this is actually probably the worst unlock condition in the entire, game. Well, not unlock condition. It's just, why Mom? At that point in the game where you're already unlocked Tainted Cane, Mom's a pushover, yeah. Nerf / buff biased. Yeah, I probably am. If it ended at Tainted Isaac or say, why would it just not even unlock at Mother or even Beast at that point? Because clearly it was a Beast run. Or even just like Blue Baby, or like at least a full run. Why Mom? Not even Mom's Heart? This is ridiculous. I'm actually getting a little mad, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually getting a little mad. I don't think you can ever go near the tops. That makes me so mad. Why is it Mom? Cantrip is actually very easy. Tainted Cane also has really good starting stats. Angry Mentor is so funny. Bro, I now know why I don't remember much of this challenge, because it was just go to Mom and that's the end of it. And I remember why it pains me so much, because then I tried playing Tainted Cane, because I thought the challenge was just like an introduction to Tainted Cane. JK, it's just like a better way to implement Tainted Cane. Because it's legitimately the way I want to play, but I can't even play a full run with this Tainted Cane. This is like so trolly. Is it wrong for me to put it in Hello Good just because you only go to Mom? I'm so pissed right now. I can't. I can't. I can't. Its concept is still that good. That pisses me off, though. If this went at least to even Mom's Heart, it could be this high. But realistically, it should be to, like, Blue Baby or Mega Satan. It should at least be Mega Satan. Like, what the... I'm actually so mad. It's a tease. It's actually just a tease. Cantrip is fun, but I don't think it'll be as replayable as normal Tainted Cane. I disagree, but whatever. Red Redemption. Oh, this one's interesting. You start with Dad's Key and Red Key. I think this one is Red Key as a pocket active, which is interesting. The starting room spawns with no rooms connected to it. Rooms spawn in clusters around the map and must be found via the Red Key. While the Red Key can be used an infinite number of times, it has 20 uses before Dark Esau spawns. Each subsequent 5 uses will spawn another Dark Esau if Tainted Jacob has yet to turn into his lost form. The Red Key cannot be used to open doors to I Am Error rooms. Each floor generates as a Curse of the Labyrinth floor with 1 shop and 2 item and boss rooms, except for the 4th floor, which has only 1 boss room. All rooms may be from any floor of the current chapter. This one is awesome. I like these challenges, like Cantripped and Red Redemption, because it's like an alternative way to design a character. Like, this could have been how Tainted Jacob plays and runs, and I think it would be completely valid. Granted, I'm kind of glad they went the route they did with Tainted Jacob. But it's an interesting concept for how the character could play. And you actually go to a good boss for this one. Mother. I do really like this one. Is literally peak risk reward run challenge. Bit on the easier side, but that's fun. Also very replayable. Any mapping effects trivializes this challenge. Probably true, actually. I didn't think about it like that. Even then, though, that early game ability. Each subsequent 5 uses will spawn another Dark Esau. Yeah, an additional Dark Esau. That's so crazy. But technically, it has 20 uses before Dark Esau spawns. Yeah, okay. So after 20 uses, Dark Esau spawns. And then every 5 extra. You know what? I'm going to put it above Suicide King. I think it's so interesting and actually has replayability that, yeah, it beats it out. I still think Pika Run's more interesting, though. I do. The fact that Pika Run has its own synergies is so telling to me. Actually, what is the boss you fight with Pika Run? That could change things. Isaac? It's fine. It could be worse. It could be frickin' Mom's foot! Isaac is fine. It's not frickin' Mom's foot. But yeah, Mother is a nice boss to end at, for sure. I like this challenge. I think Red Redemption deserves at least top 2. Or at least top 3, for sure. The way you play this is by pushing on and on, getting as many items as possible while a million Dark Esaus try and melt you. Yeah, it's a fun challenge. It definitely is. And the final challenge. We are finally here, chat. Delete this. A lot of people might not even know this challenge exists. This is unlocked by unlocking Tainted Eden, and then it's a secret challenge like below the challenge select screen. So like it's if you have Tainted Eden unlocked and then you press down one more time on the Red Redemption challenge, you'll get 1 extra challenge. Delete this. First of all, right off rip, this absolutely should just unlock TM Trainer. I don't know why it isn't the unlock for TM Trainer, but whatever. All items are randomly generated due to TM Trainer. The theme of each area, its obstacles per area, and music are randomized. Some obstacle sprites are randomized, even within a level, and sometimes the music may be missing altogether. Occasionally, even the floor texture might glitch out, replacing it with a plain color. Shop item prices range from 1 cent to 99. The challenge itself appears under the challenge list without any text, effectively rendering it invisible. You know what? For pure replayability and intrigue, is that crazy? I mean, I get the idea that TM Trainer is just like a bad item, but in a challenge design list, that doesn't technically matter, right? I remember having to play this a few times. Sometimes you just get like really insane synergies that you'd never see before because like it just is that random with TM Trainer. Either insane or Edmund tier, yeah. I think for the context of it being a challenge, like if this was a character, let's say in a world where Tainted Eden literally just started with TM Trainer, he'd be a trash character because you have to do way too many runs with him. But I feel like considering every run is so different and like it's kind of exciting to have all the randomizations. Like hell, the 1 to 99 cent coins and shops is kind of cool. This to me feels like this feels like the updated April Fool's challenge. April Fool's has the randomized pickups and stuff like that. And it's kind of a meme. TM Trainer is like the go all out, randomize the run kind of challenge, right? This feels like April Fool's if it actually tried to be an interesting challenge, right? Better than Pika vote? It's definitely more replayable than Pika, but that's not really what we're talking about here. We're talking about what is best designed. A run that is completely 100% random, I don't think is as interesting as the uniqueness of Red Redemption or Pika Run. Because Pika Run and Red Redemption do things that are impossible for a regular run. You know what I just realized? Red Redemption tells me that's how they should rework Red Key. How hype would that be? If Red Key, it was infinite use, but after you use it 20 times, it just spawns Dark East out of the floor. Okay, maybe less than 20 times, because obviously you'd still have to be able to go through rooms regularly. Maybe like every 5 times in a regular run, you use Red Key, it'll just spawn Dark Esau, just flat out. Not even between floors, like it'll just spawn Dark Esau every 5 times you use it, no matter what. That'd be kind of hype. That'd be so broken, Lamau. It would be cool, though. It's okay if it'd be broken. It's not like it would be as broken as, like, the insane tier items on our item tier list. It'd be good. It'd be, like, comparable to D6, but it wouldn't be broken. Cursed idea, but kind of fun. Yeah, I like that idea. Anyways, yeah, no, so Red Redemption and Pika Run are things that you cannot do, not even with Delete This. Delete This is just completely random. Do some crazy stuff, which I respect that, you know? This is mega chaos, yeah. Some runs suck ass, but overall it's certainly unique. I think its uniqueness carries a lot. Bomb Shadow, so it has a bigger hitbox and it echoes you. True. Alright, I guess that's the list. I was a little conflicted on Ultra Hard because of replayability, but I kind of like the point that I think Victor made. It was a good point. When you're actually trying to beat Ultra Hard, it is a menace. It is the worst thing on earth. And realistically, that first time when you're playing it is the most important. So, whatever. I think this is the list. How do we feel, chat? Are there any reconsiderations we want to look at? Mid and below, to me, are runs that I just would never want to replay. Like, if I did a new file, mid and below are the challenges that I just do not want to do. Hella Good is a challenge that I don't mind doing, you know? I'm okay with doing this challenge. Yeah. And I think that's accurate, right? Because even a challenge like Computer Savvy, as easy as it is, at least you just nuke through it really quick, right? Just get it over with. I think that's accurate. I think these challenges are just boring, right? Boring or just not fun. And same with everything below it. Very solid list. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. And hey, this is the first streamed list that I did on my own opinions here, right? Very opinionated list here, but obviously y'all made a lot of good points and changed my minds at a few other points. Split Insane into 2 tiers. You know what, Victor? I'm not against that. Let's do that really, really quick. Add row above. Let's do... insane... let's just do top 3. You know what? I kind of like that. Let's just do a solid top 3. And we'll make it purple. Pika Run, Red Redemption, Delete This. I like that. Because I do think that these 3 feel quite a bit higher than Suicide King, but I think Suicide King, it barely beats Back Asswards. I could even see Back Asswards above Suicide King. I'm actually not against that. The thing with Back Asswards that I don't like is that, like, the moment you beat Mega Satan, it does just kind of feel like you just kind of win at that point. Yeah, I still think that's kind of true. Suicide King is like an entire run of, like, you know, you're playing around it, right? I want a top 5, but fair. I like top 3 just because, like, these just feel like another level. You know what I mean? These feel quite a bit higher than Suicide King. Whereas I feel like these are all comparable. Not big with Back Asswards being above Suicide King. I'm okay with it too. But I do still think that's a relevant take on my part. you know, you beat Mega Satan and then you just kind of like go through the motions. Demote Pokemans for being annoying. I don't think it's annoying. What's annoying about Pokemans? I think it's fine. I think it's fun. Some are so well designed, I think it deserves a separate tier. Yeah. This is great. Thanks for watching, chat. That was good. Solid top 3, solid top 3. Like that top 3. Pika Run Red Redemption and delete this. That works. That honestly works. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that hates hot potato. Bro, Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls, oh my god. Darkness Falls, I never realized I would hate so much. Bro, what were they thinking with this challenge? You unlock it after beating Eve. Beating Blue Baby with Eve. Grab is so peak. This is a fun stream, bro. This grab is so peak. Insane. Alright, but that's gonna be it for the YouTube video. Everybody in chat say hi YouTube. In case I do make this a YouTube video. Say hi YouTube. That'll be the end of the best designed challenges in Binding of Isaac. I think it went pretty well. I think there was a lot of things in here that we discussed that, you know, good depending on when you unlock the challenge or when in a save file you play it, and replayability, all this types of crap. That worked out well. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you dislike this video, make sure you leave a dislike because I like opinions. Subscribe now to become a later manner on the Later Express today, and I hope they enjoy the rest of the content that I produce. And yeah, with that, everybody, later manners. There's the recording. Did y'all like my outro? That's actually an old school outro. Woo! Bye, YouTube. That's an old school outro from when I used to actually do Let's Play videos, back when Let's Plays were a thing, you know? It's crazy. Let's Plays really just like barely exist anymore. But that's kind of what I grew up on. Was just YouTube Let's Plays. But yeah. That was fun. Glad I could make it this time around. Yeah, we're about to end the stream in just a little bit. What should we do next time, chat? What should we do next time? I don't know if Turt's going to be available for all items next week. I hope so. I hope so. I'm going to end the stream in just a little bit here. What are some other things in Isaac we could talk about? The thing is that obviously there's a lot of like, if it's based on like what is the best, usually I prefer to keep that for stuff like with me and Turt. Most annoying chapter enemies. Maybe. What if I just make an entire all items list based on design? I brought that up as a joke the other day, but like, there definitely is a lot I could say, but like, God, that would take too long. And I actually don't know how many people would be interested in seeing that. Also knowing chapter enemies could be good. Bosses, maybe. We already did most fun characters. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a community poll at some point. I'll come up with some ideas. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a gameplay related stream next week. We shall see. Either way, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Yeah, this is a cute little stream. Got a YouTube video out of it too. Trinkets. Best trinkets I would rather save for Turt. We'd probably just do a separate YouTube video on that. It's just like the things that are like the best, I think it's better to have Turt there because like it's good. It's a good combo that we have. Like I emphasize the actual playability of the item, like in the context of actually using it. Whereas Turt is like much more analytical, right? He goes based on stats and DPS and stuff like that. And I think that combination is what usually leads to the best ranking of items. That's why our list is ending up as good as it is so far, I think. Yeah. So that's why I'd rather save trinkets for that. It's tough. Well, the challenges was a big one, so I'm glad I got that out the way. I love this tier list, by the way. This tier list is so cute. I just found this last night. I was like, ugh, there's like no good templates for challenges. Whoever made this is such a goat. You could actually clearly tell what each challenge is. It's so cool. But anyway, whatever. I'm gonna get up out. I'm excited to do another stream next week. Hopefully it'll be all items. If not, we'll figure something else out. I'll do a little poll. Have a great night, everybody. Later, manners. Bye.